Alrighty, hello and welcome everyone. I hope we're all having a fantastic brand new year. And today we are going to be kicking off with another Enticity ladder event. So today is going to be the bronze and silver playoffs with the finalists here going away with a cash prize, which should be really fun. And yeah, so we're going to be starting off here with the Tids Demon N, and then we're going to be having Jormino from GGX and RTK respectively. So should be a good game. Needs to wait. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right, so we're going to do the double semi-finals here, and then we're going to rock on into the final. Should be best of threes for all of them. So it's not going to be a super long stream, but it should be a pretty fun one nonetheless. And welcome, everybody. How is everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we have Wilf, so we have Daniel, CJ, how are we doing? And Mr. Down Under Blunder, good morning, sir. How are you doing over there on the other side of the world? Hope you're doing very well, my friend. So, big announcement. We did hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for all of your amazing support. We were able to rock over to the big four figures, and we've managed to delve a little bit into it as well, which is it's super nice. Super nice that we've delved over that. So, really excited to see what the future has to hold. And yeah, I'm very excited for 2022 and what might happen. So, just like here, we are going to be kicking off with the classic. We are going to be having the Beastmen going up against the Lizardmen. So, it should be a pretty good one. Overall, I think, there's certain ways you can play this as the Lizardmen for a relatively, I would say, slightly gently favoured matchup, I think, personally. I think others think the other way around. I think other things that Beastmen take this one pretty handily. But I think the Lizardmen certainly can dominate with a few key items, for sure. So Beastmen and Wood Elves were the ones who were picked there, and I think Lizardmen is a perfect counter. They do well against Wood Elves, and they do well there against Beastmen. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Thank you. Thank you. All right, awesome. So we should be getting ready to kick off. Hey, thank you very much, Bill. Well, thank you very much, man. Thank you. Thank you for streaming on my birthday. Is it your birthday today, Mr. CJ? If it is your birthday today, happy birthday, my friend. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody drop a happy birthday. So, we are going to be kicking it off here. So, who are we supporting? Here's the question. Or are we here for Mr. RTK? Who are we supporting, ladies and gentlemen? I think we are ready. Right, ready when these gents are. Hello, Cap, tell us, how you doing, man? Welcome, man, welcome. How are you? How are you? Happy New Year, Happy New Year. So we should be ready to kick off. Let's do this. I'm ready. Jormino looks ready to me. Let's just double check. The army seems fine. Let me just double check on the other side of things. Of course, so just to let some of you guys know, some of the stuff I may say might be a little bit more related to banner rules. That's in general what all of my content is based off. A lot of the stuff I do cast comes under fruit rules as well, but essentially when it's the videos, I don't really mind, doesn't really matter. It can be illegal armies as well when it just comes down to just doing quick battles. I just cast armies. But for tournaments, I certainly my knowledge certainly is better fared on the other side of the banner rules, essentially. How we doing, Ween? How we doing? Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. I did cast the recent GGX Aimer match-off. Both are ready. Let's kick it off. Yeah, so both sides look legal. They look fine. This is going to be an interesting one. This is going to be an interesting one. One side is certainly prepared somewhat, but if it's not dealt with, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. But this is an interesting way that the one side can play, and you've got to be ready for it. You've got to be ready for it as the other side, and we'll drop into that in a moment, and we will discuss. So I'm just getting a ping or two. What is this? Perfect. Cool. Let's do that. Do this. Let's drop off the Enticity element. Boop. And then we should be ready to kick off. Fantastic. So we're going to be starting here with the Lizard Men. So we're going to be on here in the sky with 4 units of the Pterodons. Now, there's quite a few elements here that you can struggle Pterodon-wise if you don't build the correct force here as the Beastmen. Now, there's a couple of elements you can bring to counter this play. But of course, the missile strength is pretty strong. Poison as well. 90 speed is not slow. So these bad boys can certainly dominate the sky if you allow them to. But here on the floor, let's start off here. We are going to have 1 Skinker Horde Javelin, triple Temple Guard, which can be a very interesting pick. No ROR though, the Cohort of Sotek, and Lord Mazdamundi. So Mazdamundi here in the front, we are going to be having the Ruination of Cities, the Banishment, Shield of the Older Ones, Apotheosis, Net of Amantok, Cold-Blooded, the Sunburst Standard of Exotil, very strong indeed, with the Greater Arcane Conduit, a phenomenal item. Something that I do have a video prepared for that's going to kind of talk about Arcane Conduit and Greater Arcane Conduit, and kind of how they interact with the game, and what they actually do, and are they worth the money you pay for? That's the question. That's the kind of thing that people want to know, I feel like. So, for the Ungor Spearman, this guy's going to be 5 in the frontier, mixing in with Goreherds as well. And this is where we have slightly prepared. We have triple Ungor Raiders and double Harpies. No Manticores, so it could be a bit of a problem in the sky here. We will have to be careful. Goreherds on the floor as well. This is going to be 5 Goreherds. And in the middle here, we are going to be having Minotaurs with great weapons, a Brave Shaman of Beast with just transformation of Gadon, Torox the Brass Ball, and I believe there's a Gore Ball here on the battlefield. So the Brass Body, the Rune-Torted Axes, Slaughter's Call, and Blood Greed. So coming in at about 2.2k, Torox is a very, very strong combatant, and he's going to have to be utilised correctly. And another issue here is going to be the Brave Shaman. Brave Shaman on a chariot is a massive hitbox. Can certainly get decimated by all sorts of flying kite units. So we do also have to be careful there. Now, there should be a hero in here somewhere. I'm pretty sure there was a hero. Pretty sure there was a good support here. I can't see him. And this is over here in the front. Nope, it's just going to be 2 of the Chaos Warhounds. Okay, yeah, pretty good. Chaos Warhounds are very good at shutting down Oxyotl, very good at shutting down all levels of like community skinks, that sort of thing. Come on, Tids! Nice, we got some stuff going on here. AC Maiden, welcome, welcome. Hope the Bronze Silver is going well. Yeah, just started, Maiden, we just started. Yeah, we just started. Coming from the Human Boy stream. Nice, awesome, awesome. Let's hope for less drama than the Gold stream. The Gold Plus stream. Oh, I didn't know there was that much drama. But sorry to hear there was drama. Hopefully, you know, Human Boy is an absolute champion of a human being. I'm sure he handled it well. Let's have a look over here. So, there's going to be a bunch of stuff in the trees here. So I'm going to go for a bit of a tree push. I'm going to go for a bit of a forest push. The bit of an area here is going to be sort of in this location. You know, obviously we might be able to see some of those elements as they kind of transfer through to the trees here. And then sort of come through. Now, what I have seen before, I have seen some Vanguard units that actually can start sort of in the back area here. You know, you have some elements where you can sort of start here and kind of bait out a start over here. I've seen some people play like this, and then what you do, as they sort of come round, you sort of just then kind of hit them from the flank as you hit them from the front. And if you do that with enough cheap units, like dogs, etc., you can get away with it, where the player doesn't really necessarily think, you know, maybe there's 1,000 gold missing here or something. You know, they just kind of go straight forward thinking, you know, Temple Guard are expensive, you know, that's got to cover the cost, right? You know, so as long as you play it kind of smart, you can always have a good Vanguard here on this map, which is always really, really nice as well. It's really, really nice. Certainly like this as well. Certainly having dogs that are vanguarded in the trees, you can certainly get some good plays in the front where you might have like some community skinks in the front, where you might be just, you know, get a little bit of abuse in there and you know, get some nice early value before there's any sort of support there from Mazdamundi, etc. Generals are so annoying in this matchup. Yes and no, yes and no. They can be easily dealt with. Like triple Harpies, double Manticore will certainly do some business for sure. That there was some Ungors as well, you know, Ungor Raiders. You know, you have to respect it. And this is one thing I talk to a lot of people about. You know, sometimes bring Harpies, sometimes don't. You know, you need to make sure that the Beastman players here in the community are always respecting the fact that Pterodons are on the potential pick list. So we can now see we are going to be starting. What have we got here? So got to have fun from both sides. Love to see the good sportsmanship here from both players. We are going to be charging forward here with the Pterodons. And you know what? I wouldn't mind staying away from the Harpies. Just start shooting this front line. Yeah, shoot this front line, wither it down. And, you know, of course, these guys, you know, they get some very, very good value here from the Primal Fury. If you start doing some damage there and you start really ripping down on... Yeah, you certainly don't want to do that. You certainly don't want to take any unnecessary damage here from the Uncle Raiders. Only 115 range, pretty easy to dodge. They are going to be firing arrows into the sky, so dodging and ducking and weaving should be pretty good. You should be able to go in, get your shot, and then just cycle back out. And normally as you're cycling back out, they should be able to shoot with 360 whilst they're cycling out. So at the top level of the game, there's no necessary reason why you should be taking Ungle Fire. But here, of course, you know, if you are very well on top of the micro here, the Ungle Raiders, because they do have hidden as well. As long as you're not sitting at the end range of them, you can see they're at the end range of their 115. If you'd have them just to get a little bit closer and then shoot, kind of bait them into a full sense of security, you can then certainly get more damage that's more accurate. And these have only got 15 armor, so you can certainly do some good damage indeed. You know, you've got to take these off fire at will and really micro them correctly. Over here on the left, we see the Chaos Warhammer Poisons. They are moving into position. The dreaded box here of the Temple Guard is going to be supporting Master Mundi, and it's going to be really dangerous. And of course, here going triple Temple Guard, I think it's always worth going for the Regiment of Renown, just because then you get that physical resistance for Master Mundi. And a big chungus like him coming in with 15% physical resistance, that's no joke. It's no joke. You get that missile resistance there. It's 15 base as a lord, right? So you're going to come in with that 25%. And if you come with the extra 15%, that's going to be 40% missile resistance. For a man that size, that's something dangerous. That's something dangerous for sure. So, shots coming in the top against the Harpies. Harpies are certainly going to get ripped apart. Only 15 armor for them. And the back, they're coming out the rear. Yeah, it's good because Minotaurs here with the great weapons only have 35 armor. Of course, no shields either, so they're very susceptible. I wouldn't actually mind seeing a certain unit going around the back here and maybe just doing a little bit of local harass here on these gorgeous Minotaurs, because they're certainly going to butcher the big boy if given the chance. So you can see they're a little bit closer now. You can see they're actually going to be within the range, and the arrows are going to be pouring in. You can see there's going to be quite a bit of damage coming out now, but now they're going to be sort of shifting towards the end stage, and there's going to be a couple of volleys of fire here because they're actually inside of that. You know, if they were a little bit more sort of in this area, you could certainly see some good investment here coming from the Ungle Raiders. But you can see lots of damage coming out. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Harpies are now in chase. They do have 70 speed, 82 normally, but of course when poisoned you lose that speed. Bonus, Pterodons fighting in combat, probably not ideal. You should be able to kite these to the end of the earth. I don't think it's, you know, I think a lot of things that, you know, determines good players from the great players is know which engagements you do and don't have to take. And this is one you do not have to take. You certainly do not have to fight in this engagement. And you've got javelins in the back here. Even just one unit of the little skinky boys can certainly deal with Harpies, you know, get some good shots in the sky and, you know, do a little bit of dirty harass. And this is certainly what you can see. We're going to be losing one of the Pterodons there really for nothing. There's going to go down to 3 models, which is, you know, a little bit unfortunate here coming in for Jamino. But, you know, these are things we learn and we get better with as we play more. Goreheads are at the front now. They're going to be careful. Javelins are in the pocket. Only one was brought. I think actually javelins in this matchup are exceptionally good. 4 or 5 models certainly is never a problem. Alright, so that's a really nice day. We can see Ruination Cities down the side there on the Ungle Raiders. Really nice work. There's going to be some pretty decent damage on top of them. That's why you do have a bit of an issue there, stacking 2 directly on top of each other. Now, the other thing as well that's really nice for the Terror Riders is actually sniping out casters. Once you got rid of these Harpies, there's nothing to stop them just, you know, travelling over and just sniping that transformation of Gidon wherever that has gone here. You know, so there's going to be a summon in the middle here. And it looks like we're going to be getting a Banishment in the back. Banishment might be pulled into the Ungle Raiders. It looks like that is going to be the location. Yeah, that's going to be good stuff. So, of course, you can direct these spells. And now we're going to be damaging quite a lot as the Ungle Raiders actually walk through the Banishment. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care. Charging in the back here, there's going to be another Manticore going in up against the Cult. So it's a nice choice. Of course, the Manticore will be strong enough that it can kill models. And here we go. The Archosotex are in. 2 great Archosotex in the front line. Going to do some great damage there for their abilities. Show the old ones. Ungle Spearman certainly going to find a bit of trouble with 140 armor. But in the middle here, we do have Torox. He's going to be going hand-to-hand up against the Temple Guards. Apotheosis Overcast. Now, the Overcast doesn't actually do anything apart from extend the range. So that there could be another misplay on mana. But in the sky here, what are we going to get? So Pterodon Riders, there's still going to be 7 models here. We're going to be 4 there. And Harpies in the trees. Kind of need to clear those out. Make sure they don't come back. But in the middle there, Minotaurs are going to be a good target. Maybe shooting up against the casters, etc. Could be quite nice. In the back here, Master Mundi might try to see if he can help the Fairy Manticore. Like it is going to be a nice net there on the Minotaurs. That's a really nice net, although he is going to be in and involved. Kind of be able to get him out here. Temple Guard are going to be trying their best. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit troublesome here. Temple Guard are going to be fighting here against the Ungle Spearman that have this kind of weird extended line, but it's actually kind of keeping them at bay, so low-key it's kind of working. Now we've got the Manticore kind of going after Master Mundi. That's not ideal, but he's going to be sort of coming towards that orange element, which means he's going to be very close to getting despawned, I guess is the correct word. In the back here, we are going to get the Doggos clearing up the Bastiladon. He has broken Apotheosis. Yet again, Overcast going down. I don't know if these Overcast Apotheosises are worth it. But in the sky, Pterodons returning, so we have 4 and 5. Harpies have been left to the side there by the RTK player. And here, unfortunately, I think that's going to be the end of days there for the Bastillodon. In the middle, looks like Ruination City is going to go down. Ruination could do lots of damage in the middle, could also do lots of self-damage. Looks like we are going to get away with that there as the Lizardmen. We are actually going to absolutely chomp one of the units of the Ungol Spears. In the pocket, though, it is going to be the big Mino. He's going to be coming after Master Mundi. Master Mundi can't really just run away here. He's going to be getting hit behind so much. In the middle of the Bastillodon Arcasote, 10... How is there 10 monos there for the Minosaurs? Looks like 10 monos, very, very low health. They aren't going to be able to get out. So it's going to be another summon of the Manticore here in the middle. Shield the old ones has been popped. And it looks like Master needs to kind of turn and fight. Like, Master's got humongous weapon strength and charge bonus. Like, he needs to fight here. Like, just running away, he's just going to get slapped. Also, he's got healing. We don't have that here for Torch the Brass Ball. Banisher on the side here looks like it's going to be collecting up some of the Ungol Raiders. I don't know if that does any damage in the sky there. It looks like it is doing damage in the sky here on the Harpies. Pretty nice stuff. And we've got here Apotheosis is going to go downtown on Master Mundi, but now he's also going to be getting chased here by the Manticore. We need some element to help him over here. We need to get these Pterodons in and active. Poisoning here up against Taurox or the Manticore, super important. Really reduces their DPS output. So it looks like here the Minos, 7 models left, still going up against the Bastillodon Arcasote. We need some help to take out this Taurox. We just have to fight with Master at this point. Master's just getting slapped and doing no damage in return. So effectively you're just going to lose on trade value. But GG's well played there coming in for the Beastmen. Very, very good stuff. And certainly pulled apart this nice Elite Lizardmen build. Hey, Eldrin the Mist, how you doing? Welcome, Matthew as well. Welcome, welcome. Dan, there have been some fat Ruinations. I know, man. The Ruinations were so good. The Ruinations were very good there from the Lizardmen. Of course, they're super random, but sometimes when they pay off, oh, they pay off huge. So, Master Mundi, 1.8k for him. We got 435 there for the cohort of Sotek. Quite a nice unit, actually, if you pop it onto Taurox. Of course, if you then pop the ability, even with all his combat charge bonuses, etc., you should be able to do quite well there up against the big iron, or should we say the big brass ball. 640 there, 670 and 1000 for the Temple Guard. Looks like here we are going to be getting 476 there for the Skin Cohort Javelins, with 240, 400, 270 and 300 there for the Pterodons. That can be the problem. That can be the problem here, of course, you know, not quite getting the full ammunition off, and the build's not that thick to get through, really. But 1.3 and 460 for the Bastillodon Arcasote. There just wasn't enough here to really fight alongside. You just had so much infantry surrounding the Bastillodons, they were just getting poked. And yeah, there can be a problem. You know, dealing with gore herds can be a real issue. So 2027 there for Taurox the Brass Ball, with 750 there for the Bray Shaman of Beasts. We've got 92, 23, 103, 185, and 575 there for the Ungol Spearheads. 500, 400, 500, 240, and 647 there for the gore herds. Where there it looks like we're going to be getting 500. 240, 425 there for the Ungol Raiders, with 214 and 60 for the Chaos Warhounds, 317 and 600 for the Harpies, and 1,864 there for the Minotaurs. Now, I think in regards to the Lizardmen, I think, you know, of course, Sauros certainly with Shield certainly outtrade Gore Herds, and if you want to outtrade the Ungol Spearheads, what could you do here? Like, Red Crested Skinks don't do so well. Like, it's nice to take the ROR, but you could just take some normal Skink Cohort Javelins. You know, if you get the Javelins into the front, most of these, even if they are shielded, they're still going to take a lot of value from damage. And, you know, you can certainly wither them down and then fight them just regular, you know, because then you've got that good shot damage with poison as you engage. I think that, you know, 5 Skink Cohort Javelins alongside, say, 5 units of Sauros Warrior Shields could certainly batter apart the main infantry line here of the Beastmen. And then you just need some support to fight Taurox. And you've got lots of elements that you can deal with Taurox. You've got heroes, you know, for example, you've got the, I don't remember what they're called now. Which are the heroes? Heroes here, you have the Sauros Scar Veteran. Sauros Scar Veteran can do some really, really nice anti-large work, for sure. You can get in there and do some nice support damage, and comes in with Cold-Blooded, which can also like kind of help support the rest of the force. And sneaky ones like the Skink Chief as well. If you have the Skink Chief flying around with 82 ammunition, if you don't have anything to deal with him, he can certainly dumpster all heroes. Like, he can just do some great chip damage over time. He is like the bane of all casters. You know, they can do some really nice work there on a Pterodon. And yeah, I don't know if we saw any rock drops either. I don't think we saw any rock drops here from the bad boys. You know, we have, you know, you pay for these rock drops. You know, you need to kind of use them as well. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, the younger raiders, you know, they don't really do any sort of armor piercings. You're not too worried. And yeah, and if you're really worried about the sky, you can certainly bring in, you know, skink skirmishers, chameleon skinks, whatever, you know, whatever tickles your pickle. And then, you know, 2 Arca Sotex later, and maybe, yeah, I think Master Mid is maybe a bit expensive in this matchup, but, you know, you can certainly fight quite nicely there, maybe with Kroggar, etc. You know, you can do some quite nice stuff. Yeah, Mr. McRifefish, yeah, Scarvets are very good. Yo, what up, everyone? If Master lost, it's because he wanted to. Indeed. Nah, it's because Darkseid can blind the seeing of the future. Oh, I see. Well, nice game here between these two. We are going to be taking the lead here with the man, the RTK Tides. I'm just going to call him Tides. So, Tides here is going to take a 1-0 lead. So, everybody today, welcome. I hope you're all having a fantastic one. If you are enjoying it, do feel free to smash that like button here on the live stream. It really does help here for the channel. What it does is every single interaction kind of allows YouTube to go, oh, people seem to be really enjoying this stream, and the more and more it gets, the wider it spreads into like the YouTube algorithm, and then obviously the more people see the stream, and then hopefully more watch, and then more will hopefully in turn join us here in the multiplayer scene for Warhammer. So, you know, it sort of goes that way. So yeah, nice little game there. So looks like we're going to have pretty even support on both sides for both these players. That's really nice. So let's get up the big image and wait for these boys to pick. So GG's indeed. So we are. It's draw to pick. So how's everybody today? Nice, man. Thank you very much, my dude. Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel. How well do you think the Crowfather of the Beast does now in multiplayer and campaign? Campaign, he's pretty fun. He's a lot more fun in campaign, for sure. I can certainly say that. I play Legendary very hard, so that's kind of what I do. Dudes. Map is in challenge. You don't need to wait for me to change the map. You can check challenge. It's Desert's Bounty. Right, the map is set. No, I totally disagree with that, Rusty. I think that actually he's very strong in certain matchups. I think there are certain matchups that I think there's at least 2 matchups that I use him in the multiplayer scene that I think he really turns the tide for what you would consider a bad matchup for the Beastmen. I don't think it's very much known or looked upon, some of his applications for certain matchups, but I think that he certainly has some strong. Here we go. We got Cool HR in here as well. Cool HR, how are you not a mod on here? How are you not a mod? There you go. You are now a moderator, Mr. Cool HR. You now have the power, Mr. Cool HR. Make sure you utilize it for good and not evil. The almighty Tids. The almighty Tids has some big support. Yeah, I think Rusty. Yeah, I think there are some matchups where the big Crowfather can certainly do very well indeed. Yeah, certainly for sure. There are some that he's quite powerful in. I think 2. I think there's two matchups he's certainly very good in, and certainly actually would probably be my first pick. I think. Yeah, I think for sure there's 2 matchups. One of them specifically being Dark Elves. I think he's really good in the Dark Elf matchup. What else would I use him in? I've seen other. I think I've seen other people use him in the Chaos matchup. But I certainly think the Dark Elf for sure. It's certainly one that I would pick him in. So it looks like here it's going to be Dark Elves Empire, and we're going to pick Dwarfs. So it's going to be Dwarfs against Dark Elves. Now Dwarfs is an interesting one. A lot of people think that this is heavily Dark Elf favoured. I certainly think that this is actually Dwarven favoured with the right build. Give mod power so I can ban smalls. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, I can't blame you. I mean, that is primarily why I gave you the mod, just so you can mess with smalls. That was it, really. What matchups are good for the Crowfather? I sadly never see him. Yeah, so I think if you pick the Crowfather and you go double Manticore, double Harpy into Dark Elves, I think it can work quite well. I think if you have good support there on the floor as well, with good mobility, and you kind of move off the chariots, I think he's actually really, really strong. He's got some really nice abilities. You know, you can bring in a Enfeebling Foe, so you can always Enfeebling Foe there on Marathi, or any of the Manticores, whatever you want to snipe as well. You know, so the debuffs you get from her, you can certainly sort of counter those debuffs, and then, you know, kind of work there as a team. And you've also got the ability that reduces, is it Mantle of Gorok? Is it Mantle of Gorok? Reduces armor by 30, and then increases base weapon damage and armor piercing. You know, you throw that on Harpies. Harpies actually pretty strong with that. You know, they only lose 15 armor, so they're getting, you know, kind of half the negative. And then, you know, they've got 44 weapon strength already, and they can certainly punch above their weight. And if they manage to wrap around a Manticore with the Mantle of Gorok, they'll rip that Manticore apart for sure, comfortably. Yeah, comfortably rip that Manticore apart. Hi, I just got Oxy DLC, but can't seem to figure out how to use him. Mine keeps getting spotted even in snipe mode. Yeah, so Victor, yeah, there's a lot of people that are kind of working out how to counter Oxyotl. He can be really obnoxious, you know, being so cheap with the snipe. Of course, if you do pop that ability and you put him into that snipe mode, don't forget, if you bring the item, you actually have to use the item and make sure it stays on. If you didn't know already, I don't know if you know that. Sorry, or you can always send me in a replay if you like. You know, feel free to DM me on Discord, and I'll be happy to just give it a little look and see what's going on for you. But yeah, he's quite difficult. You always need to have kind of you always need to have areas for him to escape and like get through, and you know, you need to be able to pull through infantry and these kind of things. Like things like dogs are really difficult for him. Like Chaos Warhounds or like Direpack Wolves are really difficult because they get in and they surround him, and they're not enough mass to really push him over, but they're enough mass to pin him in place, and they just kind of rip him apart, and it's, yeah, a bit of a nightmare really. All right, so good both sides here. Okay, this is an interesting builds. Should be interesting to see how this kind of works out. All right, let's kick it off. Oh, just seems to be... Ah, there we go. Yeah, this is true as well. This is a good point by Captellis. Yeah, if he shoots, people can see that dart. It's a nice little green dart, so you can sort of roughly know where he is. Doesn't mean you can get hold of him, but yeah, as long as you keep him near infantry, you know, should be relatively all right, and he can output a lot of damage for sure. Yeah, one thing I see with Oxy as well, let's say we have a green line of infantry here, and you'll find like Oxy over here, and then you'll see like a unit coming in from here. You know, this line has then got to come through to defend, but it's also like some people also might move them over here to go shoot a unit in this direction, and the infantry's still there, and you're sort of like, well, you can't get this distance with infantry to protect him. Even if he's going this way and this way, he's going to get caught, you know. So you just got to make sure that you're constantly keeping an eye on him, and you know, this sort of thing. So for the Dark Elves, we are going to be coming in with 5 units of Bleak Swords. So blasting charge kind of fodder here in the front. You know, yeah, they can do pretty well, but of course they can suffer to the hands of the blasting. Harpies is going to be 3 in the sky here alongside Squadron and Chariots. Bit of a rare one here, but we are going to be having 3 of those. Death Hag in the back, and we are going to have the double Hargonoth Executioners. Very strong indeed. So we are going to have the Sorceress of Beasts here with the Amber Spear and Transformation of Godon. Yeah, very strong indeed, very strong. And on the floor, what we're going to get? We are going to get the Death Hag here. Just a naked Death Hag. Okay, fair enough. And then we are going to get Crone Hellebron here with the Gaze of Cain, Heroic Killing Blow, and Blood Frenzy. Okay, very interesting. I thought we'd see the Chilling Blade from her, because that gives negative melee attack, I think. But, no, it's an interesting pick nonetheless. I think Crone Hellebron on foot is a nice one indeed. So, for the Dowie, we are going to see Dwarf Warriors in the front. There's going to be quite a few Dwarf Warriors. Alongside here, Longbeard, great weapons, so no shields for those. Blasting charges in the middle. Miners dotted around the pocket with Longbeards as well as double cannons. Snares in the back, and some more miners here with Ungrim Iron Fist, and that's it. Yeah, interesting build here for the Dowie. Interesting build. This would, what would this lose to? Would this lose to full Shade Kite? Maybe. If you got the right targets, like if the Shades got on top of the Longbeards, you could shoot them with cannons though, I guess. But could cannons kill Shade Kite? I don't think two cannons could kill Shade Kite quick enough before they completely dumps your army, right? So Longbeards with no shields means that's just going to be full armor piercing against Longbeards. You know, it's going to be sort of, 750 damage down the drain if you're not careful. Yeah, and then obviously you can shoot Slayers, Kite Slayers, and then you've got, just full skirmish as well. Yeah, it could be pretty tough. It could be pretty tough. If you shoot the right target, Shades can certainly dump for this build, I think. Yeah, you've got to be careful. I think Fire Magic here with, like, Flamestorm or, Beast Magic is fine. Of course, the perfect counter to that is going to be Ungrim. But Ungrim also offers, like, no support here for this army. So, with Dwarf Warriors, pretty low melee attack 22, this is an old school build for sure. But, of course, having to deal with this, it can be pretty difficult. So, shots out the front. Oh, nice hit there immediately on the Scourge Runner Chariots. The Scourge Runners can certainly bend over this build if given the chance. But, of course, these cannons are going to be a good counter. This is why you also don't start Scourge Runners right in the middle of the map. You need Scourge Runners out on the outside, because then of course the cannons have to turn and shoot. And the speed of the Scourge Runners, if they keep moving forward, they're going to be in the blind zone, as I call it, of the cannons. So you can see here the cannon sort of comes out in this direction of its line of sight. So as long as you're in the blind zone here, it can't shoot you, or at least it has to rotate. So everything else coming through the middle is going to be scot-free. So Manticore Summon coming out pretty early doors here, I think. Of course, you don't want to get as many Manticores as possible. The infantry line is pushing forward, but Harpies getting shot here for free. You kind of want to get your Harpies out of there, get them into the blind zone, and at least force these quarries around the outside, so they're not shooting the front line of your Bleak Swords. Now, Dwarf Warriors, they should be able to do okay against Bleak Swords. Bleak Swords generally have better stats overall. But the armor, it all depends on the armor, really. It depends how fresh they are when you get in for the Dwarf Warriors. But of course, no range. Let's start going in the back. Ungrim is going to be nearby. Slayers as well. This is certainly a bold move, Cotton. That's going to be one of your summons down the drain here. Just drop that cannon crew off here a little bit. Get the cannon crew back here just a little bit. And then we'll certainly get them back on the cannon as soon as possible. That's going to be one Manticore down in the sky here for Jomino. Yeah, so still going to be getting shot here by the Quarrelers. That's going to be about a quarter HP there off the rip. That's one Manticore down. And Ungrim certainly, chanting all sorts of songs and fire and death. And, this wasn't quite the end he was hoping for. But, still nonetheless, he beat back the force of the Manticore. In the middle, Harpies going up against the Miners. That's an interesting one. Certainly would have wanted to see them kind of recharging the Quarrelers or something like that. But now it looks like they're going to get hit here by Longbeards. But they certainly create a nice little pocket here in the back that you could certainly cycle charge through if given the opportunity. So Harpies coming in from the right-hand side. We can see here 38 models still ready to go. Should we get on top here, maybe of the corners or on top of the cannons. But cannons, they're going to shoot in the back. And look at this. Look at the beautiful Scourge Runners. They're going to be falling here for sure. In the front, though, Bleak Swords, they're going to be trading relatively efficiently. But, of course, the armor here is going to translate to some pretty good resistances here against the Bleak Swords. Of course, the lack of AP, regardless of stats, is going to have quite a good resistance here in the front line. And they're going to hold for a very long duration of time. Bleak Swords do lose in the middle. I don't know if there was any sort of support there, but in come the Hagenarth Executioners. The Gazer came plus 24 melee attack. It looks like here as well the Death Hag is in 94 melee attack with Poison here fighting up against Ungrim. So nice support in the middle. Longbeard's in as well, but of course no buffs here in the middle to aid. Crone has no armor, but she's going to be trying to fight the best she can here up against Ungrim Iron Fist. And looks like we're also going to get some support from Hagenarth Executioners, and they'll certainly butcher the face off the big man if given the choice. So in the back here, it looks like the Miners here have just destroyed all of these. Look at this. Look at this. Absolute destruction of the Scourge Runner Chariots. Scourge Runners move in the middle. Might get a bit of a slap here from Ungrim if we're not careful. We also got on the floor. We are going to have the Duel of the Ages here. We are going to have the Lady going up against the Slayer King. But also here, axes are high as they come to fight in up against the Hagenarths. Who are they surrounding? I think, yeah, Slayers against Hagenarth Executioners is probably not the best fight for them. Having Slayers probably fighting up against like Bleak Swords is probably a little bit better. They do struggle with AP output. In the back is coming the Sorceress of Beast. Maybe some Slayer pressure in the back here, pushing that off a little bit. Could be quite nice. Quality going to push to the front. There we go. Nice little cycle charge. Nice light butter here in the front. Scourge Runners just going to be cycling through and just kind of disrupting the entire formation there of the Quarrelers. So Cross going to be the front, you can be strong some Dwarf Warriors, but 40 melee defense should keep them holding for a good period of time, but 95 melee attack is certainly going to be doing a really, really strong indeed. In the back, the cannon crew has dropped, but the second one is still going to be on board, but we do have some nice pressure here coming in from the Harganaf Executioners. So it does look like here that the Dawi are going to be gently taking the lead, not too heavily, but it looks like we are going to be taking them. Karazankor would be impressed so far, but we can see here Longbeard's moving in, certainly to deal with this Sorceress Beast at some point. Amber Spear popping, what are we going to see here? Amber Spear goes downtown, looks like we're going to be shooting up against a couple of the Slayers. A couple of those go flying there, but they don't mind, they've met their ever-netting doom. In the middle, Harganafs fighting up against Slayers. They should be able to bush the face off these bad boys. What are we thinking here? Tired up against Winded, so yeah, pretty similar. And in the middle here, we are going to get another Gazer Cane. That's going to pop here for the Harganaf Executioners and the Death Hag, giving 109 melee attack and 72 there. So really nice support here coming in for Crone Hellebron. Hurricaning blow for herself as well. She's going to be butchering a lot of the infantry. Good melee attack supports for all of this army. This is a really nice choice. I was quite surprised when I saw it, but actually now more that I think about it, it's some really good support here for some of the units that are struggling with melee attack. Harganafs are going to get broken and are going to get pushed off here by the Slayers. 9 models should be able to keep up with those quite nicely. Cannon crews might be able to return to the cannon here, but Harpies are getting a nice raid charge on the Quarrelers. They should be able to rip them up pretty quickly. Quarrelers do have 80 armor though, so could hold for a short while. So in the middle there, it's like Harganafs do fall to Slayers and the pressure of Longbeard Great Weapons. I don't think we've... Oh, Lord is dead. Oh, I didn't actually see that Ungrim had fallen there. Okay, well, it looks like he did fall perhaps to the pressure here of Crone Hellebron. In the middle, the Death Hag is going to be fighting here with the lady herself, but she's going to be down to 1,600 health. And 1.3 there in for the Death Hag. So for the Dawi, it looks like here we are going to get some returning Squadrons here for the pressure on the left-hand side of those. But for the most part, they look pretty happy. I think that Dawi should be able to pull this out. Yeah, balance of power is certainly going to be in their favour. That was a lovely Amber Spear there down the line of the Quarrelers. But it looks like there, that is going to be break. That is going to be army losses. GG's and well played. Yeah. Yeah, certainly an interesting build coming in from Ty, but I think they're, I think the Scourge Runners, yeah, 12, 73, and 200. I think the Scourge Runners certainly found it difficult, kind of starting off in the middle, getting shot out of the break when, you know, your reaction times just, you know, you're going to be focused on moving your army up rather than just solely focusing on your Scourge Runners getting shot there by cannons. I mean, I think the first volley did about a third HP on one of the chariots. Yeah, so it was a lot of damage out of the rip. Harpies, 200, 125, and 400. I think this build really lacked a bit of AP. You know, you had some good AP from the Scourge Runners, I guess, but double Harganafs, they really have to pull their weight. You can see 1.4 and 760 there. Bleak Swords, 280, 280, 72, 150, and 256. Yeah, it's difficult. If these had been blasting charges, I think this would have really struggled even further. It would have been extremely hard to maintain this. But good AP here for the Longbeards. We've got 350, 360, 680, and 380. So Longbeards doing okay, 440, 400, 450, 320, and 420. So yeah, pretty good there from the Longbeards. Longbeards going to be heavily outperforming the Bleak Swords. 450 there from the Miners, 200, 280, 160. Ungrim only getting 460, but you know, still performing pretty well. He is unbreakable after all. We are going to have 623 and 1,200 for the Slayers, 1,000 and 1,000 there from the Cannons. So 1,000 there and 840 for the Quarrelers. Very strong unit indeed. Ungrim, would I prefer Belegar here? I'm not sure if I would have preferred Belegar or not. Belegar, of course, can like does have a silver shield. You know, very strong armor at 120 as well. Good melee defense, certainly a good tanky hero, and you know, gives you an extra 250 gold cost. Of course, he's not unbreakable, but you know, he certainly comes in with a bit more tank. Ungrim is a nice choice though. You know, you obviously can slap up chariots, you can slap up lords and heroes, but you know, he struggled here with the pressure of the Death Hag. And 1.5k for Crone. It was a really nice idea. I did like Crone actually. But of course she's very susceptible to getting shot, and even just like cheap units can kind of deal with her. Like, you know, if you surround her with Dwarf Warriors will bring her down, which can be a bit of a problem sometimes. But it's a nice build. This is a really fun build. I like the idea. I saw where this was going. Yeah, it's quite nice. I do wonder though about the Scourge Runners. Yeah, a big question there. Cold ones are better than the Scourges. In my opinion, Malice eats Dowie. Yeah, Malice there, it can be pretty good with the healing, etc. He can do quite nicely. A Dwarven Shield Wall is about as legendary as Elven Archers. Shield Wall certainly was, yeah, it almost could have been created by the Dowie, really. They were built around it. Alright, so we should be having Mr. Ween. Or Weenan. Weenan, I think that's how it's pronounced. Let's see if we can find him here. Nope, I'm either blind. Let's see who's up. So it's Weenan and Tim Wilder. Okie dokie. Needs naked ladies. Yeah, I mean, interestingly, if you brought maybe some sisters, that could have been relatively interesting. But no, a good interesting game there. Good interesting game. I think, you know, if he'd gone full kite as the Dark Elves, you know, gone 8 units of Shades, could have certainly been very difficult. You know, Dark Rider repeated crossbows as well, just kind of maneuver around the battlefield as well. Could have been a tough one. Certainly could have been a tough one. Yeah, I don't think the Manticores there kind of fell. I think like having like a Flamestorm in that matchup with a Fireball could have been quite nice. You know, a couple of Fireballs down the line if you got the opportunity with some Flamestorms. Yep, certainly could have been a bit different there. Of course, Flamestorms, you know, obviously then you've got to deal with the Slayers, but Slayers, I guess you could just shoot them. And then you've got a cheap front line there that can just kind of hold back the Dowie. And, you know, certainly get the big damage that's necessary. But yeah, I think the cannons might struggle to deal with that full kite force. Alright, so I'm just waiting for the gents to join. Alright, we'll get that up. Guys, it is a logic, and it should be Ent event. It's the logic Ent event. Shouldn't be too difficult to find. Let's have a look, see if we can find you guys. Aha, welcome. Sweet. I heard Sisters of Slaughter, the Dark Elf with Whip, are good against dwarfs. They certainly can be. They're comfortably countered by just crossbowmen. The nice thing about this matchup between Dark Elves and Dowie is there's a good mixture of both sides about how you can just counter a lot of things on both sides. Like, for example, if you go Dark Shards, you just counter them with crossbows. Or if you go Sisters of Slaughter, countered by crossbows. I think crossbows just do really well in this matchup. And I think, you know, Longbeards also do really well, good melee defense, and you can bring great weapons as well. They're going to do quite nicely. You know, if they go full kite force, minus the blasting charges can be a problem, but just going regular dwarf warriors can be quite nice. For sure. Welcome. Definitely spelled that wrong, didn't I? Yes, I did. Alright, so we've got these two bad boys in. Let's get them in on the top. Yep, so well played there to Tids. We'll be seeing him in the final. Here we are going to get Tim the Wilder. And then we have GGX Weenan. Weenan? I think it's Weenan. GGX Weenan. So, I've never had Tim the Wilder on the channel before, so this should be an interesting one. Should be interesting to see what Tim brings to the table. Hey, Dog, how you doing? Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Do you think the Celeste Marauders with whips will be similar to Dark Elf, Sisters of Slaughter? Yeah, I think so. I think they'll be very, very, very similar. I think I don't think the mechanics will be the same, but I think that they have a similar idea, like, you know, pretty strong either melee defense or melee attack with some sort of ability, and then they'll sort of work around being pretty quick but low armored. Something like that. Yeah, something like that, Eldrin. Right, so we should be on... Let's have a look. Should be on River Amaxon. What? Let's have a look. Nope, that looks fine to me. Yep, the rules seem fine. Sorry guys, I'm also trying to learn the rules as well. This is organised by Enticity. I'm just correcting it. Okay, so Wood Elves Beastmen. So it looks a pretty standard pick here for most players. Is the Wood Elves Beastmen. I don't think I haven't casted Fruit Rules where Wood Elves Beastmen wasn't the opening, I think. It's just a very, very solid start pick. Do you collect or paint Warhammer figures? I've been playing tabletop and really love how strategic it is. I actually don't. I've definitely played Warhammer tabletop before. 40k though, not fantasy. I don't know if you're doing fantasy or if you're doing 40k, but yeah, I did some 40k when I was younger. So sadly, no, I haven't. I've never actually painted any models either. Yeah, I've never painted any models, but I would certainly get into it. The only concern that I have is that they're super expensive. Is the only problem, and you know, I actually end up spending a lot of time, on here like preparing events or working on things like the Shortbeard League. So for those of you here that maybe from the Enticity ladder that don't know me, firstly, my name's Logic. I do a lot of casting. I do Battlemania, which will be returning next week, by the way. I didn't mean to plan it, but I've just been so busy over the holidays that I haven't had a chance. And I also host the Shortbeard League. So if you are a brand new player here in the Warhammer community, you can come onto my channel and you can play against myself or one of the mods or the admins, however you want to call them. And you play against us with the best of 3, and then we rank you within our system. So there's 5 different leagues of different quality. The newer the player, your generally starts towards the bottom, and if you win your section, you then jump up a section. And when you get to the top section, if you win that, you then get promoted out of the Shortbeard League and you kind of join the wider community. Basically just ensures that you're not playing, you're playing tournaments, you're getting league experience with players of your ability level. And you won't be finding all these top level players in round 1 or in round 2, and it's just going to be, more fair, more fun, and it guarantees you best of 3s, best of 5s that you're sort of I hope enjoy more. So that's some other stuff that I do. Skaven have all the tech needed for a World War I trench warfare. That would be a fun battle to witness, like if it was a first-person shooter / hack and slash. Yeah, it could be interesting indeed. I will just remove that comment. What that's all about. All right, let's see who are you guys supporting here. So we've got Tim the Wilder, and then we've also got Mr. GGX. Perfect. Okay, looks like it's going to be Lizardmen, and we're going to be going... yep, so it's going to be another classic game of counter with Lizardmen, and then we're going to play Wood Elves. Okay. So no Beastmen this time, but it's going to be Wood Elves and Lizardmen on River Amaxon. So yeah, it should be an interesting one. Looks like we have another one coming in. Yeah, this is a pretty interesting matchup. I think both sides can do really well. Both of the sides kind of work, quite heavily on, Wood Elves is quite a good kite faction. Lizardmen's quite a good counter kite faction. I think there's strong elements that kind of either side can play. I've seen quite a few people here go sort of kind of full cavalry here for the Wood Elves. Sorry, I just found something. There we go. Yeah, it can certainly be an interesting matchup. I think the sisters can be good. They can also be a risk. I kind of like actually bringing Hand of the Gods in this matchup with Grotgar. Hand of the Gods can do really well in quite a few scenarios. If it's a big treeman, does fire damage, you just go boom, and there you go. That's a nice big chunk of damage done there. Or against the sisters, you can half hit the sisters. Yeah, it can just do really well. Can you give us a little background history or something about the players so we don't know them and have an idea who to vote on? Well, one of these players you know as well as I do. I don't know anything about Tim the Wilder, but GGX Wien is part of GGX. I believe he is... GGX is, I think, quite a heavily German faction. Clan. So there's different clans within the community. So Wien certainly comes from a sort of a more German-dominated clan. Apart from that, that is all I know, I'm afraid. I actually don't... There are a lot of people that I will cast here on the stream that I, in general, just don't know. I don't see them enough to know what they play, what they do. There are some that I do. I watch a lot of them play, and they send a lot of replays into me. And, they take part in a lot of my events. But this event here is Inticity's event for Inticity's Ladder, and I don't particularly operate that too much. I help out with moderating it, so people have got issues with games, they send me replays and say, this, and I do the rulings. And then today I'm simply just casting the semi-finals and finals. So sadly, I don't know too much. Skaven are short of tanks, barbed wire, rails, radio and telegraphy, aircraft and a navy. Yeah, only a little bit, Clock, only a little bit. Solar engines with ROR spears are good. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because you can come in with that missile resistance, and then of course they do magic damage if you bring in the Regiment of Renowned Stag Knights from the Wood Elves. Yeah, I think go forward. You can certainly go 5 units of Javos on the front. You go double solar engines, maybe 1 or 2 of the Chameleon Stalkers, Chameleon Skinks as well, mixing in there. Probably wouldn't recommend Terran Riders. Probably wouldn't recommend those. And then you go a couple of Saurus Warriors with, say, Oxyotl, or you can certainly bring in... Oh, so they're both ready. All right, let's get on the way. Otherwise, yeah, you can sort of work around some level of that idea. Hey, Arcano, how you doing? As someone who really wants to get started multiplayer but have never played a single game, where should I do? What should I do? Well, you're asking the perfect place. If you join up on the Discord, my friend, I actually run what's called the Shortbeard League. So the Shortbeard League is for exactly brand new players like yourself, where you come and play me or one of the admin team, and we analyze how good you are based on a numerous elements that we kind of investigate. So how good is your army composition? How good is your micro? How good is your in-game decision and knowledge? And then based on those kind of 3 answers, we put you in a league with other brand new players of your ability level. And you can only play up against other brand new players. We ensure that we play against everybody, and that and therefore you're mixed at an even level. So you can come join on my channel, and then you basically play in a league and a tournament every single season. So we're about to start season 4 either today or tomorrow, which is where you'll play a league for 3 weeks, and then for the final week of that month, I'll then organise the tournament where all of you get together and play. But it's basically 5 different leagues that you join, depending on where we place you, and then you play against 4 or 5 other people in that section. So, for the armies, we are going to have the Umbral Tide with the Salamander Hunting Packs. 1, 2, 3, 4 units of the Feral Cold Ones. The Clever Girls in the front, yeah, pretty strong indeed. We are going to be having 1, 2, 3 of the Skink Cohort Javelins, alongside 2 of the Source Warriors. Looks like a pretty good army so far. More Source Warriors, more Skink Cohort Javelins. Double of the Chameleon Stalkers in the front. Make that 4, make that 5 indeed. Now, I do have to be careful. I believe they're 360 shooting, so I assume Oxy is going to be in the build here then. Yeah, so Oxy is going to be in the build. With the Skink Priest of Beasts for the Transformation of Gadon, Flock of Doom, and Wildheart, with Oxyotl, who I can't quite see. Oxyotl here today will have just the Master Predator. Yeah, so he'll be having Master Predator in the front. So for the Wood Elves, we are going to be having Dryads here, 1, 2 units. Of course, here we are going to be having the Sisters of Twilight. Very strong Lord choice here in the current multiplayer meta. Here we could join Destiny, and it looks like Vantage. And of course, he will be having the armor sundering shots here for the sort of anti-large shots here from the Talons of Dawn. But if you do go with the Talons of the Dusk, thank you very much. I keep forgetting that's up. Thank you. Got that ping. Who is that? Thank you very much, Bowmore. Thank you very much for the message. Yeah, so for the Sisters of Twilight, we could join Destiny, Vantage, and of course here we have the Talons of the Dusk for the anti-large armor sundering shot. And then for the anti-infantry poison shot, we have the Talon of the Dusk. It looks like here, this is an interesting pick. I actually don't like the Lost Silver Knights in this matchup. I think it's an interesting pick because there's a lot of magic damage that is present on the Lizardmen roster. But Dryads here in the front, alongside the Lost Silver Knights, the Great Stag Knights here, can do very well. Looks like we are going to have a Lifecaster here with Earthbloods and Lifebloom, with Dryads, Glade Guard here dotted throughout. Glade Guard super important in this matchup. And so here we have some Spears, some Glade Riders, and yeah, it looks pretty good otherwise. Just a front line here of Eternal Guards with shields. Nice, yeah, so Arkano, just make sure that you drop a message there in the Discord, in my Discord, and I'm sure one of the mods or admins will say hello and kind of introduce you to the league, yeah. Alright, so here, flying over the top, we are going to get the Sisters of Twilight, kind of getting ready here for the front. Got to be careful, these blasting charges certainly can fire into the sky here for the Sisters of Twilight. Big shots coming downtown, what are we aiming for? Looks like we're going to be aiming after the Feral Cold Ones. So, it looks like they're 22, yeah, we killed quite a few models there, looks like at least 4 models went down. Poison shots in the front here, arrows are going to be shooting here up against the Chameleon Stalkers. This front line needs to be a little bit more up with this front line. This front line is going to get destroyed here by archers if you're not careful. Blasting charges are not firing. Looks like some of these are now shooting into the front. Yeah, now we're going to fight. Look at the damage there in the front so much. And look, now they're just going to get charged here by cavalry because there's nothing to protect them. There is nothing to protect this unit. Now they're going to get full slammed here in the front from Tim the Wilder. And that's some nice damage there in the middle. These are now pull out and now put in the spears. And they should do a pretty nice job. Should do a pretty nice job indeed. Over here in the trees, looks like we do have 2 units of the Feral Cold Ones. Umbral Tide in the middle. They're going to be shooting here. I think they got a lot of damage on their own unit there, but you can see the Spellstring of Life. Oh, blasting charges straight into the back of the Spellsinger. Very interesting indeed. In the front here, in the middle, we have the Feral Cold Ones trying to charge into the trees. Looks like we do have some spears waiting. Hangpain Tips are going to be shooting over the top as well. Starfire Shafts are quite nice. Fire damage AP can be very strong indeed as well. In the middle there, Feral Cold Ones kind of getting a little bit caught out. Looks like the Starfire Shafts here are going to be shooting. Some more Feral Cold Ones in the back here can certainly do with getting in. Manticore is in the back on top of the Starfire shafts there in the middle. And it looks like here we have the Skin Cohort Javelins now fighting up against the double Glade Guard. Kind of stacked on top of each other. It's going to be sort of a 2-for-1 value there. But in the middle here, we are going to have the Terror and the Ethereal status of the Lost Silver Knights. Now, one of the biggest problems here coming in from the Lizardmen is they didn't prepare magic. Being that they didn't prepare magic means they're probably going to suffer to the hands here of the Lost Silver Knights. But in the middle, we are going to see Frame Manticore going after the Glade Guard. Here in the back, the Umbral Tide getting a bit of pressure here coming in from the Stag Knights. Just need to kind of screen it out there maybe with the Chameleon Stalkers. And these bad boys can certainly be good answers here to Dryads, etc. Certainly get some good volleys here on the Sisters as well. They've got pretty low armor, 50, so they can certainly take some big damage. In the back here, looks like the Starfire shafts are going to get compromised. A lot of the frontline infantry and stuff is kind of over here in the trees. Got to be careful, there's quite a few units here in the trees. We'll have to make sure that the Wood Elves do leave the trees. Yeah, so the majority of the force now is going to be in the trees, so I'm probably just going to say he's going to have to leave the trees here, I think. Because otherwise he's kind of enforcing the engagement in the trees. If we do have 2 units out here, we'll see what happens with it. We'll see how it develops. Looks like he is moving out with the Spearman. We are going to be shooting in here from the Umbral Tide. Umbral Tide still has 80 armor. It's going to be 20 models, 1.2k health. So it's going to get some shots here from the Sisters on the front here of the Saurus Warriors. You know, they have good AP, they can certainly cycle charge and do some really, really good damage. Arrow's going to be firing in the middle, so we have some Eternal Guards in here. Just double check. Yeah, kind of everything's in the trees, really. We'll see how this pans out. Giant's kind of fighting on the outside, rampaging feral cold ones, just like we do break the Chameleon Skinks. Okay, poison shot shooting in the trees. The rest is kind of fighting outside. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units on the outside. I mean, of course, Lost Silver Knights obviously holding quite a bit of value there on the outside. Some units over here outside as well, so it's not too bad. You can see here the Skin Cohort Javelins, very nice, 46 speed. They can certainly catch up here with the Glade Guard. Rear charge as well for the Fairy Manticore, chasing after the Sisters. That could be really detrimental here to the Wood Elves, obviously taking that big chunk damage from the summon of the Manticore. It is going to be huge to balance the power. So it's like Tim is going to be getting caught out. Certainly, and this is another engagement that I talk about. You don't want to be taking this engagement. This is an engagement you don't want to take. But of course, you're trapped in here by the Skin Cohort Javelins. So she's going to be taking lots of damage. Looks like she just walks through here. She might not be able to get up here. Looks like the Manticore is going to rampage and then go after the Glade Guard Starfire shafts. But we have been broken here at the Sisters of Twilight. Now, I don't believe they're under 10% health. I don't think so. Max there is going to be 3.5. No, so they have to go under 350 health before they get their healing. Sisters do return, but it's looking pretty bleak here for the Wood Elves. It's going to be 1 unit outside, kind of 2 units outside. There's a few on the outside. It's a bit borderline. But we'll keep an eye. Grey Guardian looks like going to be fighting up against the Chameleon Stalkers. Saurus Warriors here will fight. They should do okay, but if the Eternal Guard will win, they're going to just be that a little bit healthier. Dry's coming in to help as well. Sisters of Twilight now going to be shooting into the trees. Yeah, I think it's starting to force the Lizardmen to have to come into the trees. Just going to make sure that it doesn't get to that stage, because now a lot of these are having to come in the trees to fight. Whereas before the fight could happen on the outside. So Lost Silver Knights, they're going to be pretty low here, but they have done some good damage. What sort of kills are we looking at here? That's about 90 there, I thought. 190, god damn, yeah, very good stuff there. Chameleon Stalkers in the back, a few more extra units here as well. It looks like here the Spellstring of Life is going to be getting away. Shots coming in from the Glade Guard shooting here. It looks like Balance of Power is going to be pulling back, but there's an awful lot of tree play here, I think. So in the back we have 1 unit. Yeah, over half the army is going to be in the trees here. Looks like we are going to be fighting in the middle. Looks like here the Saurus Warriors are going to get terrified by the Silver Knights. Saurus Warriors here are going to break on the side as well. Shots coming in here up against Oxyotl. He needs to be shooting here on the Lost Silverin. We did actually get the kill with the Sisters of Twilight. We actually might be able to kite the Sisters, but I don't know what we're going to be able to do here. It looks like he's not going to be popping his ability. He's going to be going for the speed instead. Sisters are going to be coming over, but there's not a lot here to deal with that Lost Silver Knight. Nice charge there from the Sisters on Oxyotl. There's going to be some good damage going down. Skin Priest of Beast there. It's going to be Ween dropping out there. Yeah, man, 1K subs. Yeah, I got it this morning. It was really nice. Yeah, it was really nice. What channel? Let me see. Did you join up, my friend? Did you join up? Are you Hunting Bruh? Is that your name? Is that your name? Arkano? Is that your name? Hunting Bruh? Is that your name? Because of course, like, if you guys come to the Discord with different names, I'm not sure who's who. I will have to talk with... do we have Bowmore here? It looks like we don't have Bowmore here. Okay. Let me quickly send this to Bowmore. Thanks, guys. Thanks. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I got 1,000 subscribers this morning, which is really awesome. So thank you very much to all of you guys that have supported me. All of you have been absolutely insane. So thank you so much. Going through the process now of becoming having a partnership with YouTube. Got one now with Twitch. So working on it with YouTube, and I've got it there with CA as well. So this, I think it was about 2 weeks ago that I had my year mark for my first video. So it's been a year. And, you know, getting a partnership with all three, with CA, Twitch, and YouTube, I couldn't ask for any more. I couldn't ask for any more. It's been absolutely insane. So thank you so much for all your support. Yeah, sorry, that's me. Okay, cool. Yeah, sweet, man, sweet. What I'll do, mate, I'll wallop a... Yeah, let me just go on here. I will give you Hunting Bruh. I will give you Potential Shortbeard. So what we'll try and do, we'll get you going as soon as possible, mate. All right, so let's go through this. There's going to be 1.8k there for the Sisters of Twilight, with 100 there for the Spellsinger, with 844, 650 there for the Dryads, 260, 260, 170, 460, and 380 there for the Eternal Guards, with 560, 400, 250, and 1,000 there for the Hagbane Tips. We've got 340 and 500. So Starfire, Hagbane, Gladeguard. Okay, and then it looks like here we've got 580 there for the Glade Riders, with 1.7k, 214 kills from the Lost Silver and Knights. And that is what it can be so painful here. If you don't have magic damage, it can be really dangerous. You're going to surpass PewDiePie. I don't think so, but I can certainly try. Bravo, what is that? Thank you very much out there, my man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much, Daniel. Thank you very much. So, it looks like here for Oxy, we've got 800. Yeah, we need to kind of him shooting the Lost Silver in. He's kind of like the only kind of magic damage counter. 67 there for the Skink Priest, 460, 300, 277, 750, and 1,100. So 1,100 really shows you kind of what you can pay for here with the Chameleon Stalkers. But 1.7k for the Source Warriors, 770 and 900. And for the Javelins, we've got 124, 300, 820, and 513. So 820 there also shows what the Skin Cohort Javelins can do. Like, it's an extra 100 gold cost there for those Javelins, but 820 damage value. Very good stuff. We've got 250 there for the Feral Cold ones, 400, 130, and also here with 180. What I certainly would have done here is probably would have had the javelins in the front because they've got shields, whilst you don't necessarily have it here with the community stalkers. You know, utilise those shields whilst you got them, and have those thrown javelins at the front here up against the Dryads and the Eternal Guards, and then sort of get around the flanks here with the community stalkers and kind of get into that range and utilise that stalk. Utilise that stalk as much as possible. Salamander hunting packs, 195. Yeah, a little bit short on those boys. A lot of people bring Salamander hunting packs. I think they're good. I think they certainly have some good... they certainly have all the right elements to do well in this matchup, but I think in the true scheme of things, they're probably not optimal, I don't think. I think I'd rather bring a solar engine, is what I think I would rather do. Because, yeah, you know, with the solar engine, you're coming in with Terror. I know you have Perfect Vigor and Anti-Large and Fire Damage here from the bad doggos, and they are insane. I do love my doggos. My Emerald Tide are certainly probably one of my favourite units in the Lisman roster, but I think here the solar engine is just infinitely better with magic and fire damage, so... Alright, so we'll now play the next match. So the next match, I believe, was on the Desert's Bounty. Nice. Alright, so the Desert's Bounty... Awesome. Alright, so for the time being, Tim will go one in... No, yeah, Tim will go one in the lead. For now, unless it gets overridden, I will confirm it as the status was that he won. No stress on getting started. By the way, it's really late where I am. I just stumbled in, and honestly, I'm blown away right now, trying to get any help for 3 days now. So this is so instant. Oh yeah, no problem, Arkano. Yeah, no problem, man. We'll get you in. I've given you the tag, so we'll get you started, we'll get you playing, and then we'll try and gently get you into the league, you know, sort of when you're ready. And then, you know, see if you like it. See if you can jump in and have some good times, play against some of the guys in the channel that might be able to help you out. A lot of the guys that I play with and that sort of hang around the channel, they're all really extremely friendly. And they hang around quite a lot. We play almost every single day. We don't just play Warhammer as well, you know, we play Halo and we play... I'm trying to remember the game now. Oh my god, Age of Empires and all those sort of things, right? So, VC and Greenskins, that's an interesting one. VC and Greenskins is not one we've seen so far. But of course here, there is going to be no Wood Elves. So Wood Elves, of course, a good counter here up against the Vampire counts. But Greenskins is a good counter up against High Elves and Dark Elves. So that's why it's a pretty good combination here now that Wood Elves is out of the picture. Because otherwise you'd probably be okay with taking Wood Elves into Greenskins. I would have thought. And also, which faction in the game or tabletop can pull off pike and shot formation and tactics the best? Pike and shot formation. Pike. I'm not sure. Maybe Empire? Maybe. Okay, so it's going to be Lizardmen. Lizardmen could do well into both of those, actually. Okay, this will be interesting. This will certainly be interesting. Right, looks like I've got a message here. Also sounds really amazing. Nice, man. Well, yeah, it'd be good to get you involved for sure. And Dog, if he's gonna play as well. I don't know if I think you said you wanted to play Dog. I don't know if you actually are gonna play. Tilia and Astalia have actual pikes, but the Empire in law to use those formations. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But obviously, you need to wait for some more Empire content. We haven't seen. I think the very first DLC was Empire, and we haven't seen anything since. So, pretty good to see some more. Empire is about as close as it gets to Pike and Shot. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like, yeah, Empire, like, because no one really does. But I was thinking like maybe Empire. It would be nice to get Dogs of War though. It would be nice to get some, some kind of flesh those factions out. It would be quite nice. So here's a question for you guys. What are you looking forward to Warhammer 3? Which Chaos God are you looking forward to the most? Which Chaos faction are you looking forward to the most? And then which non-Chaos faction are you looking forward to the most? Let me know. I'll be interested to know what you're thinking. Alright, so for the front line, it's like 5 units of those Zombos coming in. Yeah, pretty strong here in the multiplayer scene. We're going to be here with the double Vargulfs as well. Regeneration and big AP punch makes these bad boys certainly very, very scary indeed. So, the double Crypt Horrors. These boys can certainly perform very well. Regen, armor-piercing poison, you name it, they've got it. Pretty decent speed at 50 as well there for Monstrous Infantry. Looks like 4 units of the Flying Bats. And in the middle here, we are going to have Graveguard Great Weapons. 2 units there, and it looks like a couple of Spears. And we are on the side going to be having the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. And it looks like he's going to get moved. Okay, so Spearman, 1, 2, 3, 4 Spearmen. Do Spearmen do well here? I think I'd rather say Graveguard Great Weapons than Spearman, I think. But, yeah, interesting choice. Storm of the Night with Flock of Doom, Raise the Dead, Invocation of Nehek, Pestilence Breath, Hunger, and the Curse of Undeath. Swarm of Flies coming in as well, which is quite a nice -5 melee attack. And the Von Carstein Vampire Lord there with the Storm of the Night is a very nice ability indeed. Flock of Doom, not too sure, but otherwise, yeah, pretty good. Saurus Warriors in the middle there with the Saurus Scar Veteran. Looks like it's going to be double Scar Vet and the Slan of Life. We're also going to be having here the Ancient Stegodon, Engine of the Gods. We're going to be having a Bastillodon Solar Engine and a Feral Dreadosaurium. The big boy's in. Look at him with the party hat. Let's go. With the party hat. Alright, Saurus Warriors, the Star Chamber Guardians, Saurus Spears, Chameleon Skinks, and more Saurus. Going to really bring the hurting here. We do have some AP, but not much. This should be interesting. Star Mage, though, what are we going to get from him? Probably regrowth here. Yeah, so it's going to be regrowth. No Flesh to Stone, but Earthblood, Cold-Blooded, Life Bloom, Armored Quetzal, Shield of the Old Ones, and Banishment. So a lot of good elements here in the Force for sure. Now, going from the high ground, he will have to travel forward here. There's no way we can't not travel forward from Tim. Should be interesting. Not too close to a white line. He can start close to the white. I mean, here's the white line, right? So he's not that close. Like, where's the... That's 100 meters right there. So is that 100 meters? That's 80 meters. Yeah, so maybe... And you can start closer than the white line, just as long as you don't stay there. You know, if you stay... Yeah, no, false, it was a good question, man. You don't need to delete your message. It's a good question, bro. Yeah, no, he's quite close to the line, but as long as he doesn't stay here, that's totally fine. You can see that that's 80 meters of range, wherever that line is there. So this is probably about 120, 130. Bit hard to tell, really, but he does have to come forward. So hard to see the white line on this one. So I'm on the white line. Okay, so yeah, this looks like enough to get around, I think. I think it's also being sensible about it, right? This is certainly enough to get around. The Force is going to have to rotate. We are going to have to be careful of the Vargulfs, but the way we need to play this here is we need to play it slow and methodical, coming from the VC. We need to get up there slowly. We need to take our time, make sure we get it into the right area. Now, the Von Carstein Lord not coming here with Gazing the Gash is an interesting one. Gazing the Gash can certainly do some brilliant damage, especially on like Feral Dreadosaurians, and the Slan as well can certainly be sniped quite nicely. Actually, I think Manfred Von Carstein can do really nicely here. Come in with the double mana spells, and you just kind of splash Spirit Leech and all those kind of things as well. Can be quite nice. So yeah, it can be an interesting one. So we are shooting down the line here. It looks like we are going to be shooting, I believe, into the Graveguard. Issue is Graveguard a bit slow because sort of 27 speed. We've got 31 for the Spearman. That's not bad. And Crypt Horrors certainly want to wrap around the outside. They certainly don't want to getting shot for free here. Vargulfs in the middle. Now we can see there's no net here, so I wouldn't mind seeing the Vargulfs getting some cycle charging into the spears. You know, get in, get a punch, get out. You know, I wouldn't be afraid to kind of put a bit of pressure here on the player. Shots from the front. Graveguard taking quite a bit of damage. For that to kind of fluttering over the top. Maybe kind of waiting here. Community Skinks will kind of shoot them off in the middle here, so kind of keeping them distracted. Breath attack certainly could be utilised here. I wouldn't mind seeing a breath attack down the Star Chamber Guardians. Of course, it's going to be a ticking timer there until we get the second one. So using them as quickly as possible is certainly advantageous. Yeah, especially getting our units that are going to suffer to get that regen back. Zombies kind of, you know, just chilling, doing their thing. Acting all cool. Looks like it is going to be a summon in the back here. Summon on top of the Star Chamber Guardians. We see here the Community Skinks going to be shooting up against the Vampire Lord. Only 70 armor for him, so you'll actually take quite a bit of damage there from the Community Skinks if you're not careful. So quite a bit of damage here on the Graveguard. Zombies coming forward. The adding meat here to the meat grinders with the Saurus Warriors. Saurus Scarvet. He's going to be having the negative to leadership, I think. Yeah, he's got the Plaque of Domination. That's quite an interesting one. Physical resistance, ward save. Oh, the ward save actually coming from the Engine of the Gods. The Engine of the Gods is such an interesting idea. It's pretty good. Like, of course, it's a Stegodon. It's got 70 charge bonus, anti-infantry. You know, absolutely packs a punch. Like, you know, Breath attack here does go down the Star Chambers. I actually think coming sort of, you know, from this direction would have been a little bit better. But you know, still, you still got some good value. 8 models there certainly fell, so you know, it's not terrible. And yeah, we've got Flock of Doom. We've also got Raise the Dead that could be utilised. In the middle, we are going to have a summon that's actually going to rampage the Ferromantical, bring him straight into action here to fight up against these zombies. And now we're getting a bit of a surround. So in the front here, we are going to be having the zombies going up against these Saurus Warriors, moving in the Skeleton Spearman. Skeleton Spearman looks like they're all going to be fighting one model. They certainly want to get wrapped around here and start kind of engaging a lot of these units. Don't want to get too caught up here. You're going to be having 2, 3 units getting on top of just one unit of Saurus. In the back, the Vargals, they need to be in. They need to be going. They're kind of just, you know, chilling a little bit too much. But now they're going to be kind of getting into the fight. Saurus Warrior Spears could do with getting in as well. Zombies kind of coming in. Shield the Old Ones has been activated. What's this going to be here in the front? The Armor itself. Flock of Doom Overcast for the, I think that's an extended duration and extended area of effect. Here in the middle though, oh, this is going to, oh, would you look at that. Look at that Engine of the Gods coming down here, ripping through the Skeleton Spearman. Lovely stuff there. And a Banishment on top as well. Oh, just like the Banishment didn't get popped. That Banishment could have certainly cleared out a lot of that. That Engine of the Gods came through and absolutely ripped that. So in here is Manfred von Carstein. Oh, not Manfred, sorry, it's going to be the von Carstein Vampire Lord, sorry. So we're now going to be having the Earthblood Overcast here on top of the Feral. And he should be able to rip apart the big man himself in the middle. Invocation of Heck going Overcast there, trying to get that area of effect healing. It's going to be a Banishment on the front here. Banishment is going to kind of pin in here, and it looks like we are going to be losing zombies and some Graveguard here in the front. In the middle, it looks like the Vargals are going to be fighting here. Not too sure what they're kind of punching up against. No, it looks like they're going to come after the Engine of the Gods now. So the double Vargals with AP alongside the Von Carstein Vampire Lord should be able to do some good work here up against the Ancient Stegodon. Flock of Doom has been activated yet again, but Flock of Doom obviously is not going to do too much damage. Looks like here Overcast healing going down there for Earthblood. The Lord is doing pretty well here in the middle. He's going to be not too happy. You can see rear attack, friends routing, frightened by enemy. You can see all those nice stacked debuffs there to leadership. But Slon's has some very good leadership for sure. It looks like here in the middle, the Saurus Scar Veteran, he's going to be going strong. He can certainly do some big pokey poke here up against the Von Carstein Vampire Lord. In the middle, so the Graveguard Plaque of Domination has been activated. It's going to be -8 leadership. That can really help them tilt over into that kind of crumbling area. But in the middle here, it's like we do have Dreddy's not going to be able to quite get on top of the Von Carstein Lord. Star Chamber Guardians looks like they're going to be fighting in the back here up against the zombies. Kind of want to get these bad boys in the middle, give the physical resistance there to all of the heroes and lords here in the middle. Armor of Quetzal, extra belly defense, extra armor is certainly very nice indeed. In the front here, it looks like the Slan is going to be going. What's the Slan on right now? I can't quite see the Slan. Slan is up to 54 kills. So going ham here in the middle with the toilet chair wielding magician himself. But now this is a bit of a problem here. We can see the big dragon is going to be on, and it is going to terrify a Slan. That is incredible that you can terrify a Slan. I love it. So the Toad here is going to be running away. He's going to be kind of getting slapped by Vargals as well. In move the Saurus Warriors. I don't know if they're going to be able to kind of protect him here. I don't think anything's going to be fast enough. But it looks like here we are going to be able to get a nice element down the line here. We are going to get the Engine of God slapping down the middle here. It's going to delete a lot of the infantry down the line. That is such a nice ability. It's so goddamn good. The Slan does return. We can certainly do with a bit of healing here for him, though. Could we get a regrowth in? But the problem is we need someone to screen out this Vargol. For the Temple Guard over here on the left-hand side, no physical resistance for the Slan. The Fell Dreadosaurian is going to be rampaging. Where is the hero? We could certainly use Cold-Blooded here on the Dreadosaurian, get him under control, and then start beating up against the Vargol. Black Domination, and like here we are going to get Banishment for the zombies. Kind of clear this out and get the bad boys in. Looks like it is going to be some damage here on the Saurus Warriors as well. But in comes the Dreddy. We are going to get a rear charge there from the Dragon. The Von Carstein Vampire Lord is going to do some good work here up against the Slan. Regrowth has been activated, but he's kind of in between a rock and a hard place here. Vargol certainly going to be hitting from the front and getting that nice rear charge there from the Vampire Lord. Dreddy is going to be going strong. Looks like we do have leadership back here for the Slan Mage Priest. Oh, we actually pushed over the Vargol. That's really handy. If we can get a return here for the Slan, that's not quite going to happen. We do get a return there from the Saurus Warriors, but it's going to be so difficult to get that Slan back online. Crypt Horrors, they're going to be down to, it says 24 leadership there, so they are going to be stabilizing. Good armor piercing here should be able to thump up against the ancient Stegodon, but the Saurus Scar Veteran can certainly hold in the middle here. And we are now having a big dragon going up against a ginormous dinosaur. What more do you want here in the middle? But it's like here, he's going to get distracted and now start thumping up against the Vargol. There's someone here who's kind of like punching up against a couple of elements. Yeah, that's what the Slan is. He will return on that, actually, if you're not careful. He does return on that. A small heal here, and he's back in the game. A small heal, and he's back in the game. I think that was a bit of a mistake there from the VC player. Dreadosaurian is in, but now he's going to kind of be getting butchered from behind here by the triple threat. There's no real support for him here, unfortunately. Star Chambers are in, though. There should be a fight here alongside the Saurus Scar Veteran. We do break there with... Yeah, we go. There's going to be +8 leadership, and the Shield of the Old Ones there coming into the Slan. Kind of needed the heal, but maybe the Great Arcane Conduit didn't quite... No way. He didn't bring Great Arcane Conduit. Oh, Tim, that's such a huge mistake. Oh, Tim. What a huge mistake. Alright, so the Fell Dreadosaurian here is going to be routing. Returning here is going to be the Saurus Warriors. We're in the middle. Star Chamber Guardian is still going strong. They're going to be up to 267 kills. So goddamn good. Saurus Warriors here have been terrified. And they're certainly going to be performing quite nicely as well. Saurus Scar Veteran, he can certainly butter the bread here of the Von Carstein. And in the back here, we are going to get the Bastillodon Solar Engine. He can certainly shoot here up against the big dragon. I don't know, this Saurus Scar Veteran is so healthy. Maybe he just keeps getting pushed over. I'm not really too sure. We do get a return here of the Slan Mage. I think actually just healing the Fell Dreadosaurian at this point is probably the worth it way to go. We are going to have quite a healthy Ancient Stegodon as well. He's going to charge in. If we can kill the Von Carstein Vampire Lord, I think we're certainly going to get a lot weaker here for the Vargolfs. Because it is going to be -5 melee attack thanks to the Von Carstein Lord. Bastillodon, still some ammunition. Are we going to get a shot to the face? Are we going to get a 360? I'm not too sure. That's not going to be the case. He's going to get a charge to the back, but we can certainly thump back there. We have 250 armor piercing weapon strength. So we can certainly do some good work here up against the Von Carstein Lord. But 2.6k health for him whilst fighting in combat. He's going to get regeneration there thanks to hunger. Here we go. Dreadosaurian's kind of getting hit from behind here by one Vargolf. Kind of fighting the other here on the other side as well. Temple Guard are trying to see if they get involved as well. Anti-large armor piercing can certainly do some good work as well. And the Saurus Scar Veteran certainly needs to use Cold-Blooded here on the Fell Dreadosaurian if he can. It looks like here the Slan does return. 340 health for him. Can we get a Shield of the Old Ones here in the middle? Maybe. So the other Vargolf does return. A bit of a punch in the side there for Bastillodon. He's down to half health, but he should regen quite nicely here. Cold-Blooded has been activated. Very nice stuff there coming in from Tim. That's going to be keeping this going quite nicely. In the middle, though, unfortunately, we are going to be breaking there with the Ancient Stegodon. But we do have the Temple Guard to kind of hold off that retreat for him. So if we get Cold-Blooded in, maybe try and see if we can utilize the Slan Mage Priest. Shield of the Old One's nice. We should be able to protect here the Fell Dreadosaurian. He's going to be at 160 kills so far. He does break. That is probably going to be army losses. Yeah, we shattered there with the Lord. That is GG's. Well played. Very, very good stuff. Very, very good game. I really enjoyed that. Really, really nice game. Really nice game. Alright, so the Slan Mage got 688 there with a couple of banishments as well. The armor equipped cell was quite nice. You know, kind of basically gives good melee defense and armor to the kind of surrounding troops, and then you can heal them up and just making them that little bit tankier. Here as well, we got 740 there for the Saurus Scar Veteran. Who actually performed, quite nicely. That certainly would have come in. He had a lot of health here to certainly work with. 900 there for the Saurus Spears. 280 and 614 there from the Saurus Warriors. Spears work very nicely in this matchup. I do wonder if he went with double Temple Guard, but that would have been better here, maybe. Not too sure. Not too sure. Interesting to know. But 540 there for the Chameleon Skinks. 2,000 damage value for the Ancient Stegodon. 2,760 for the Feral Dreadosaurian. And here 1,140 for the Bastiladon Solar Engine. So nice build here. Great Arcane Conduit. It gives you 30 extra Winds of Magic. 30 extra Winds of Magic. In theory, that's 5 extra Earthbloods. 5 extra. For a force just like this, you need Greater Arcane Conduit. It is so goddamn good. Also gives you extra mana coming back as well. So mana not only comes back faster, so you can do more healing, more regrowths, more Earthbloods. I think it is worth it in this matchup. I certainly think it's worth it, for sure. Yeah, I definitely think so. Here in the Von Carstein Vampire Lord, 2,930. That is what you would expect here from the big man himself. 61, 53, 23, 58, and 112 there for Wing. We got 420, 42, 250, and 400 there for the Skeleton Spearman. So overall performing pretty well, actually. 320 and 1,200 for the Graveguard. Graveguard are certainly needed in this matchup. If you go triple Temple Guard, this will do nothing. You certainly need a couple of the Graveguard in there. Failbats 150, 115, 130, and 100 AC. So okay, but 700 and 900 from the Crypt Horrors, very strong. And 3,084 and 1,560 for Vargulfs. I've said this once and I'll say this again. Vargulfs are disgusting. Their melee attack outputs with armor piercing alongside regen is just disgusting. They are super strong, and if you get them in the right places there with good supports there, with even like Dance Macabres, you also get them, because it also increases their speed, right? They're super fast. I think they're like 80 something speed. 80 something speed, like it's absurd. They're faster than quite a lot of knights in the game. They just really pack a punch. You get them with Dance Macabre with extra speed and also extra melee attack. And, you bolster that with its charge bonus, and it's just absurd rate of this thing is literally a boxer in a ring. They are just so goddamn good. Of course, they're really, really expensive, but yeah, they pack a punch. They pack a punch. But 3,084, yeah, very strong. Hey, Phoenix Skin, how we doing? How we doing? Hey, Stormrunner, how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Yeah, Far First, by the way, there was no such thing as a stupid question, guys. If you see something or you point it out, there's no stupid comments. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Ask away. Feel free to ask me whatever you want to ask me, or anything like that. I'll try and answer it the best I can, and yeah. So we're going to be going into game 3, which will be on Shargrass Strand. That's going to be before this, yeah. Shargrass Strand. There we go. Hey, Peter, how we doing? How we doing? Yeah, I think the Star Chamber Guardians are just a little bit out of position there. Of course, you saw that they're very kind of they're kind of very needed for the Slann there in the middle. I think the Slann actually low-key was a really strong pick. Healing, extra armor, good melee defense, regrowth, very strong along with that build. I certainly think you need a Great Arcane Conduit, right? So when you start every multiplayer game, you get 60 Winds of Magic. You could bring this item for 200 gold. It'll be about 200 gold. That gives you an extra 50% Winds of Magic. Plus gives you mana regen. I'm going to be explaining, so I have like graphs and like a quick explanation between no Arcane Conduit, and Greater Arcane Conduit. And, for a good example, if we take Fireball, for example, if you have nothing, you get 12 Fireballs. If you bring Arcane Conduit, you get 14 Fireballs, and you get 18 Fireballs for Greater Arcane Conduit. So you get an extra 6 Fireballs for what you pay for, and they come out quicker. Right, so they're going to be coming faster if you just spam them. If you keep spamming them, I believe it's something along the lines of you can get 11 fireballs out for the same time you can get 16 out of Great Arcane Conduit, which to me that's absurd. You get an extra 5 fireballs out in the same time for Great Arcane Conduit. You know, but the video will explain a couple of things. It shouldn't be too long, maybe a 2-3 minute video, just kind of explaining like what you're paying for, what it does, how it works. So you guys can get an understanding about how that might transfer over into Warhammer 3. Where I can sort of conjoin those videos for you guys, so you can get maybe a bit of a better understanding of how like winter magic works and some of the items that can come with that, like what Wild Heart does, or how life leeching is different, or how some of the items in the game work, and where you might want to prioritize one item rather than another. Some might give you reserves, some might give you extra mana, like kind of regen. Which one's going to be better in what scenario? For sure. Keep up the good work. Normally just lurk. Oh, thank you very much, Point. How you doing? Point45. Nice to see you in the chat today, my friend. How are you? Hope you're well. I want to see some 2v2 in Warhammer 3 where Beastmen and Sinesh team up together. Nice. I love that VC build was fire versus the amount of regen would be nasty. No Sally's. Yeah, I think Sally's is a rare. I think actually it's one of the few matchups when Nakai actually thumps pretty hard. Because Nakai comes in with perfect vigor. Because one thing you can find with those big dinosaurs fighting as much as they do, they're all exhausted. So attack animations are slower, melee attack goes down exponentially. Like big expensive monsters that have like 70, let's make it simple, 60 melee attack. Let's say it's got 60 melee attack for a big monster. When it goes down to that exhausted state, it actually loses 25% of its melee attack. So it goes from 60 down to 45 melee attack, which is a huge difference. And melee defense only goes down by 10% on exhausted. So, let's say it has 50 melee defense, it's going to go down from 50 to 45. So you can see there, even though we have 60 melee attack and we have 50 melee defense, they actually drop down to the same level. So that's why those units that pay for very high melee attack exponentially in the late stage of a game don't do as well as those that have very high melee defense. So for example, things like Dowie and stuff like that, the reason they're actually so durable is the more they fight, the more it benefits them, because actually they don't pay a lot for melee attack, but they pay a lot for melee defense. So when it exponentially drops, they end up paying for themselves quite a bit. But then on the counter argument, the same happens for armor as well. So armor drops by 25%, so that would pay for a lot of armor. So those that have high melee attack and high armor values generally suffer quite a lot in the exhausted state. They're a big, very quick punch. And if they don't punch very quickly and win that engagement, you certainly see them suffer in the late stage of a multiplayer game for sure. What are the major changes coming for Warhammer with 3? I've heard mentions, but I don't know what's changing. So there's going to be a lot changing for Warhammer 3. There's going to be a lot coming into the new game. So Winter Magic is certainly changing. That's not just in multiplayer. That's also going to be in single player, I believe. So there's going to be there are some videos that have talked about it, about how that's going to change a little bit. And there should be some nice stuff that I can do with you guys. That's going to go. This is how it used to be, and this is how it is now. So this is how you were thinking about it. And now this is how you should think about it, if that makes sense. Yeah, so should be able to, kind of bring you guys through. Should be getting some early access as well, so I should be able to, give some dots of information here and there and what's changing, kind of, etc. Oh, needed that. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, that makes sense. Those lizardmen glassing planets with that laser beam from the sky. Yeah, 100%. Just actually smashing planets to a new one. Alright, let's update the scoreboard. So the score here is going to be 1-1. As others said, congrats to finally reaching a well-deserved 1,000 subs. Thank you very much, Peter. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody that's saying congratulations. I will be doing a video for 1,000. I'm actually going to be doing a giveaway for 1,000. So the only thing you guys have to do is be subscribed to the channel and on the Discord, and I'll be selecting somebody at random for a prize. So they'll be able to go ahead there, the prize will be from me. So yeah, should be really fun. But I'll be announcing that soon. So I'm worried in Warhammer 3 that Magic will be even more OP and single-handedly decide games. I think in single player that happens already. Like, I think single-handedly that happens in single player already. Like, Magic already kind of determines matchups. If you've got a decent spellcaster, you can pretty much win any matchup. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing. If you know how to play it, you know kind of how to cheese it and how to work it, you can kind of win any matchup. But for multiplayer can certainly, like, Magic can certainly win and lose your games, but it's not going to outright just win you a game. I don't think that's going to be the case for Warhammer 3 either. Yeah, for sure. You can certainly get good tactical advantages from Magic, and it all depends on if you, if you take true advantage from it or not, I guess. There will be new multiplayer mode with capture points. I don't think anything like that's been said yet. I don't think that's been said yet, Peter. I don't think. Some pretty nice siege changes. Yeah, there's been some nice siege changes. I think it's like 270-degree sieges, I think, for single player, which is quite nice. So we're going to be on Shardgrass Strand. I didn't quite see the matchup. I think we have the Undead here with the Vampire Pirates coming up against the Beastmen. Ooh. Certainly a sneaky one. So, Krabbers here, the Lamprey's Revenge, the man here with the handgunners on the front. Pretty good armor as well as regen, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the bad boys here, yeah, they are going to be having regen, 120 armor. They're tanky as well. They've got 59 melee defense, which is just absolutely absurd. When you think about a unit that has regen, 59 melee defense, 120 armor, armor piercing, weapon strength, and they can shoot in melee combat, absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd. And you can see as well, yeah, Rotten Prometheans. You can see good armor. They don't pay too much for melee attacks, so they can generally perform pretty well here throughout the duration of a battle. You can see here Zombie Pirates in the front here. You can see Bombers in the middle. Going to do some good kind of anti-infantry tools. You can see Polearms in the back, anti-large armor piercing. The pretty standard Noculus, one of the best in the game due to the Captain's Wrath Moondial and the Drowned Dead. Both of them good summons. You can basically stack them on top of each other. And the Captain's Wrath Moondial is 150 meters, whilst most summons are approximately 60-70 meters, even up to 75 sometimes. But yeah, Captain's Wrath Moondial is 150, so going to be, you know, doubling if not tripling that. So that's it's pretty nice, and it's, you know, it's two summons that can work quite well here with the Vampire Pirates. Arcane Conduit, Invocation, and the Hunger. The Hunger is something I don't bring on Noculus if he's on his big mount. The reason being is I don't want him in combat. He loses a lot of combat prowess here. On his big mount. Like, you don't want him fighting in combat. So that's kind of 150 gold you can save. And, you know, that's a good halfway to pay for an extra unit of Zombie Pirate Deckard mobs. Which can be very useful. Can be very useful indeed. Classic Gunnery Whites here with Scabscrath. There should be two of those, I would have thought. Yep, two of those. And that's going to be a pretty standard build here. That's a pretty standard build. No doggos, though. That's an interesting one. The no doggos. So, here, Ungor Spearman in the front. Have they got shields? They do have shields. Okay, Ungor Spearman with shields, Goreheads with shields as well. Going to be the cheaper variety. And we're going to be here alongside the Ungor Raiders, including here the Destroyers at Drakwarden. Now, they're a really nice unit. We can see here with the spears, they're going to be having 30 melee defense compared to 47. So, for about 150 gold cost, you exponentially pay for 17 melee defense. 17 melee defense with poison. This unit is so good value, in my opinion. I think it's such a good unit. And so underrated, especially when you also consider Primal Fury. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's an exceptional unit with Stalk and Vanguard. It just has so many amazing applications. In the back, Centaur's throwing axes as well. What is that? 1, 2, and 3. And in the back here, pretty standard. We are... Oh, no, not pretty standard. We're going to be having Morgul the Shadowgave. I saw the Gorbel, and I assumed we were going to be seeing Torox. But no. It's going to be the Stave of Ruinous Corruptions, the Spirit Essence of Chaos, and Regeneration. The Gorbel here as well with Slaughter's Call. That's pretty good, pretty nice there. And then we are going to have the Brave Shaman of Wild here with just Traitorkin. I think Aspect of the Dread Knight going with the Deathcaster is a little bit better in this matchup. You can Spirit Leech almost anything here on the map. And then also you can use Aspect of the Dread Knight to deal with any Sirens. Sirens, at least 2 Sirens is always quite nice in this matchup. There's not too much magic damage that comes here from the Beastman side of things, but Traitorkin is also nice. Traitorkin is also nice. We'll do some good damage up against the Rotten Prometheans and some good work here up against the Gunnery Crabs and Count Noculus. Shortshot's going downtown. They're going to be shooting here. Nice the fact that he is on foot as well. A lot of people bring him on sort of a chariot, and he's just a big target to shoot. Hey, how we doing? How we doing, Javel? Hey, welcome. So So big shots going downtown into the front here. Looks like we're going to try and hit up against the Brave Shaman. This is going to be game 3 for anyone who doesn't know. It is the final game. Winner takes all here moves into the final. But we are going to be having Goreheads with shields. Fighting in the front up against the zombie pirate Decker mobs. Crabs moving through. They should be able to clean out this as well. Another summon here. The Decker mobs going to kind of flank and push through. Maybe hit here up against the Destroyer to Drakwald. Looks like they're not going to get caught. Now they're going to be moving in the back here. We do have the RLC, the Lamprey's Revenge, coming through for the big snip. They're going to be clawing at these Destroyers to Drakward and doing all the good damage they normally do. Now what we want to do here, we kind of want to drop back here with the bombers and then start firing them over the top. Because they're not going to do any damage up against the Lamprey's Revenge, and they'll rip apart the Destroyer to Drakward. In the middle here, we can see the Uncle Spearman. They do lose here against the Decker mobs. Fear is certainly a nice tool indeed when you lose ITP. But Goreheads in the middle with those shields. They're now going to become a big slam here in the front. Decker mobs have been summoned, so we can now drop here the bombers. And they're going to be supported there by the Rotten Prometheans. Nice usage there. Nice element in the back. Then we are going to get a summon of the Chaos Spawn. They do struggle with AP. They do have poison. They can do some good work. But you can see the Rotten Promethean gunneries are going to be struggling. And invocation is certainly needed here on this right-hand flank. On the left, though, they're going to be worrying. Certainly want to be getting this unit around the outside. Throwing axes here into the front is certainly not needed. You want to get them in the back here, and you want them lining up about here, shooting all the way over the top into the big man Canoculus. Oh, that was a mistake. So here in the front, it looks like Ungle Raiders. They are going to be firing into the middle. You can see throwing axes, unfortunately, not really getting too much involved here. Kind of want to get on top of these gunnery mobs. You want to get on top of these Rotten Prometheans before they kind of dumpster your entire front line, if you personally can. Throwing axes just shooting into the side here up against all the naked men. Want to be getting them really around the flank. If you want to shoot the chief front line, get your Uncle Raiders on there. Spearman returns to the battlefield. Looks like some more Spearmen, some Uncle Raiders kind of getting chased here by these zombie pirate Decker mobs. Where is the Lord Choice? He should be in the middle here. Where's the big man himself? There he is. There he is. There we go. We are going to have Morgan in the middle. He's going to be getting in deep. He's going to be fighting here alongside the Chaos Spawn, and he's going to be wrapping himself around the Lamprey's Revenge. Now he does have good magic resistance. He also has good, very good missile resistance. 75% makes him just so goddamn tanky. I think it's like 8 times tankier to missiles or something absurd. So yeah, Goodball's in fighting as well. He's certainly buttered the bread here. A lot of the crabs. He'll certainly make them the sandwich fillers for sure. Morgan's in though. He does struggle with AP, but 65 melee attack is pretty strong. He's going to be tired, so he's going to be losing some stats, but not too many just yet. Throwing axes are coming around the side, so they are going to clear up the deckhand bombers. Certainly need to see more throwing axes getting around the corner here. Need to get them through, or throwing axes here into the Rotten Prometheans. There's not too much over here worth shooting. We do actually have the deckhands. We could certainly get into the deckhands and do some nice work. Looks like the throwing axes are working over here on the left as well, so that's pretty nice work there. It looks like here the Brave Shaman of the Wild is going to get ready. We are going to be shooting the floor. It looks like the Sentinel throwing axes are going into melee combat here with Count Noculus. Now he's only got 30 melee defense here. We do have 27 melee attack here for the Sentinels. Summon in the middle. The deckhand mobs looks like they're going to be trying to see if they can trap in Morgan the Shadowgate. Trying to kill him could be a bit of a mistake. Oh, there we go. It looks like here the Rotten Prometheans down to 3. Overcast Traderkin was put here in the area of effect. Brilliant damage here. Lamprey's Revenge, 7 models, 2.6k health for them. They're going to be very tanky still. Gorball is more than likely going to fall here. He might be getting a bit of a slap here on, maybe. Nope, looks like he is going to get away, but he is going to break for his troubles. Bounce power is going to be even. Looks like here we are going to be shooting over the top here. We don't have much AP for the Ungors, but of course here we've only got 75 armor for Count Noculus. It's not huge. It's not huge. Rotten Promethean gunnery mobs are in... sorry, not the Rotten Prometheans. The gunnery whites are in the back here. Haven't seen too many scab scraffs so far. In the middle, the zombie pirates are going to be fighting here up against the Sentinels. Not great armor for them. So, you know, zombie deckhands can certainly do some good damage over time. Lamprey's Revengers are going to struggle, and Ween is going to drop. I think that it was pretty nice. A pretty nice build here from Ween. I certainly think we needed some more terror elements. I think if we dropped Hunger for Noculus and maybe dropped a Rotten Promethean, we might be able to get maybe 2 units of Sirens, and then we can start terror out in the front line, because once they go below half HP, they've got very low leadership anyway. You can certainly start terror out in some of the cheaper units you have the Uncle Spears, but this is a really nice build coming in from Tim. Yeah, very strong indeed. Like Brave Shaman, 1.2k, 174 there for Morga. Tried to snipe Morga, but Morga is just so goddamn tanky with regen. As well as 515 for the Gorbel. 230, 64, 140, and 200 there for the Ungol Spearman, with 250 for the Destroyers of Drakwold. 280, 400, with 190 and 57 there from the Gorehead Shields, with 440, 330, and 500 there from the Ungol Raiders, with 800, 700, 680, and 680 for the Centaur Throwing Axes. Yeah, pretty good for the Centaurs. I think I would certainly like to see them getting a little bit more around the back and getting in and putting a bit more pressure there on Oculus. They certainly had battlefield control, as all that front line was just having to deal with the waves and waves of Ungors getting sent in their face. So I think if we'd gone for a little bit of a wider approach, we certainly could have forced the crabs out and away and maybe try to isolate a few, take them down pretty quickly, and certainly could have maneuvered in and around there and shut down Ween just a little bit quicker there. But GG's well played to both. Nautilus at 915, Gunner Rights at 480 and 800, with 220, 65, 140 for the Deccan mobs, 80 and 84 there for the pole arms, 400 and 300 for the bombers, with 460 and 750 for the Rotten Prometheans, with 1,440 for the Lamprey's Revenge. Alright, GG, well played. GG's close series. I think Beastmen are starting to crack this a bit. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Deccan melee mob have 7 AP base. Oh, do they, Stormrunner? That's actually huge. 7 armor piercing base is actually really huge. Yeah, that is more AP than High Elf Spears. That's more AP than Swordsman. That's more AP than Bleak Swords. That's a lot of AP. God damn it. That's actually a lot. That's actually a lot. I didn't realise it was that much. Feel like Pirates had no chance bringing... Yeah, Morgan never dies. It's a really nice pick there for Morgan. Good snack. You should be on the way. So we are going to get a big victory there for the man, the myth, the legend. Tim the Wilder, first time on stream, coming in with the victory here. So nice stuff for him. We'll drop him down to 0 there. We'll drop also here for the big man himself with Ween down to 0. Now we should be getting the RTK specialist in here. RTK Tids. Not like they have the melee attack to back it up. It's true, but don't forget on melee attack as well, you do get that plus 35. You do get that plus 35%. So, yeah, you've got to take that into consideration as well. It just means over time they'll certainly deplete that. Right, just waiting for Tids to join up here. I assume he's not in the stream. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Neckbet and Mr. Complex Slayer. So you guys helping out the new man joining. Thank you very much. Yeah, GG's well played indeed, Ween. You played very well, man. Weenan, you played very well. There's always no inventory that's not better than High Elf Spears. I actually think High Elf Spears actually, sadly, are in a really sad place. Sadly, I don't know what to do with them. I think they would be really good if the faction ability of martial prowess was better. If like martial prowess was better, I feel like High Elves would be in a quite nice place. Yeah, I think you pay quite a lot for that as well. Alrighty, so just waiting for the big man himself. Not too sure where he is or what he's doing. Cool, just waiting for the big man. Okay, looks like I don't think he's seen my message. Let me message him directly. Okay, I'll message him. Alright, so in the final here, who are we supporting? Blackout Core says Tinder Wilder is GGX's last hope. Ah, I didn't know Tinder Wilder was GGX. Ah, I didn't know. I didn't know. Alright, whilst we wait for Tids, I'm going to very quickly go grab a drink. Martial Prowess could be interesting if it gave 6 melee attack. Yeah, I was actually thinking for Murderer, I was actually thinking for Martial Prowess. Just reducing, I think it should be better if you just gave, like, obviously it makes them pretty, it makes them individual with Martial Prowess, right? But I think when you drop below 50% leadership, I mean, 12 melee defense is really good. It's really good. And 2 melee attack is really good. Yeah, I don't know how you'd balance it. Sword Masters licking their lips. Lowest HP of any non-ghost infantry in the game. Which one's this? Oh, he has his test month. Oh, nice, Ween, nice. Wow, he's performed very well so far. So we need to get into the final. Still waiting for. Oh, let me. I can't put Tim the Wilder into the final. Ween, can you submit that result, please? Because I don't have access to that. Only Enticity does. For whatever reason. Yeah, you can put that into the final. That'd be grand. I think the first one here, let's have a look, is going to be Prague. So, yeah, Prague's quite a nice map. Prague is a good map. Windubot. Indeed, indeed. Java, what else? What other name do you go by? What other name do you go by? If they added to the Beastman, Centaur, Legendary Lord, how do you imagine they would work like? Be a bit of a support character, I think. Yes, Tids is taking some time, to be fair. Game started an update. I'll be there in a minute. If you've updated, we could have a problem. Alright, well, being that Tids is taking just a moment, I'm going to very quickly just grab a drink for myself, because I'm a little bit thirsty, actually. Right, give me just 2 seconds, guys. Alrighty, we're back. Alright, this is here. Hello, welcome. Alright, hey, Luke Gray, how we doing? How we doing? Welcome. I think having levels to martial prowess would be easier way to fix it. Buff it at the highest level and have 75, 50, 25, some kind of intervals. Yeah, I think that could be better. I think it could be better. Yeah, 500 gold for 38 melee defense is really poor. It's really poor. I'm not gonna lie to you. The fact that you can spend 375 and have 42 melee defense for Empire Spearman, which by the way, low-key are extremely strong. Like they're just exponentially better than swordsmen. Like just it's head and shoulders above. Like it's not even close. Because they also come with anti-larger buffs and all these crazy things. Yeah, it's just so poor that you spend. The problem is because they spend a lot on melee attack. Not quite as much as Dread Spears, but even Dread Spears are better in my opinion. Even for that matter, I even think the Hellebronai, are better than the Regiment Renown High Elf Spearman as well. Yeah. Just another case of why magic in Warhammer is OP. Do you know what I think makes whole ways of the game play pointless or worthless? In what element, sorry? Currently just kind of good and then completely off. Just remove it and give my units fair stat, please. I think a good balancing mechanic actually for Empire Spearman is they're a little bit more like what they did with. So hear me out. This is a good way to fix them. Physical resistance. Sounds dumb, but I think it's actually the way to fix it. So exponentially through vigor loss, and then also. And therefore stat changes, so that's armor, melee attack, melee defense, and then also losing the prowess. If you invest into physical resistance doesn't downtrade. So if you get exhausted, you still got 20% physical resistance. So, same thing. The only thing then is that they become weaker to magic damage. So you could combat that for a small bit of magic resistance, in theory. But physical resistance is going to trade better anyway, I think. For the majority, if you want magic resistance, you go and that kind of even then further even separates even more Silvering Guard and Spearman. You bring Silvering Guard if you want magic resistance. You got 75 armor plus magic resistance. You're pretty good against magic. And if you want more physical resistance, like say you're going against the Greenskins, okay, cool, you got Spearman. And then physical resistance, you're not going to get down traded with martial prowess and then also exhaustion. You're still going to maintain that value. You could go from 30 armor down to say 10 armor but bring 20% physical resistance. Or I think they got 40, haven't they? So go from 40 down to 20 and give them 20% physical resistance. That will make them more tanky a little bit, but also means they won't down trade as badly either. For example, that could be a way to fix them, is something I thought about. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Had some food and back. What did I miss? Well, you just missed an absolutely phenomenal final game between Tim the Wilder, as he did strike there up against GGX Mr. Ween. Or Weenin, I should say. We had a Beastman against the Vampire Pirate matchup, which went the Beastman way. So I believe now it's going to be Wood Elves and Lizardmen again, and it looks like it's going to be Dwarfs. Dwarfs is a good counter to both, and it's like Tim the Wilder is going to be thinking. I think Dwarfs is a very good counter to both there. I think Tids has done quite nicely. If magic was so OP, how can dwarfs exist? Phoenix, did you hear my suggestion? I don't know if you liked my suggestion or not. Interested in your opinion. Thanks, mate. Let's go here. Okay, he's there. Do missile resistance of white lions, war lions, and war lion chariots good, and for what? Yeah, so like missile resistance also includes armor-piercing missile damage. So let's say you go with Thunderers, all of that damage, including the armor-piercing element, is resisted by 30%. So it just makes them tankier against missiles. Because they've already got good armor as well. They've got 80 armor, which is going to help against magic damage. It's also going to help there against, or magic damaging spells. It's also going to do quite well there against any sort of physical attacks. And then missile resistance gives them just extra resistance on top of that armor. So it just makes them tankier. Yeah, I mean, 30% is no joke. 30% is no joke. So yeah, certainly very good for sure. I mean, asking why dwarves exist. I mean, asking why dwarves exist is a good question, and the answer is probably the old ones being on hard drugs or something similar way. But how do they win? Listen, dwarves are amazing. They are. Why did you have to pick dwarves? Sorry for slow pick. Not familiar with these matchups and thinking. Dwarves are an amazing faction. Just an amazing faction. Hey, Dame, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Congrats on 1K. Thank you very much, Dame. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and congratulations on 10K for you. I know it was a short while ago, I think, but if I didn't get to say it, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but congratulations to yourself as well. For those that don't know Dame, she is absolutely lovely. She's part of the CA Content Creator Program as well. She does single player and all sorts of amazing content here on YouTube. So if you don't know her, do go check her out. She is awesome and does all these hilarious videos about how all of you can get involved in Total Warhammer. So do go check those out. And yeah, lovely person. So make sure you go check her out. But how are you doing today, Dame? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Dwarves exist because they have a huge damage resistance to all magic damaging spells. So OP magic used on dwarves is not OP anymore. Exactly. They hate magic so much they resist it. Because they don't believe in it. That's how it works. That's how it works. If you don't believe in it, it can't hurt you, right? If you don't believe in it, it can't hurt you. That's like greenskins from 40k, right? The greenskins have this weird thing where if they make something, if they believe it works, it works. Nobody else can use it. But if they believe it works, it works. It's absolutely crazy. They can literally just bong all of these things in together. Missile resist is better than shield. Yeah, of course. Missile resistance on shields has sort of like a degree of protection from a frontal missile. You know, doesn't protect you from flank shots or rear shots. So you know, although they can be strung up to 55%, that's only from the direction they're facing. Just set up a long Ethernet cord so I don't trip over it anymore. So pretty good. Nice. Actually, I gave Ducky my old one. Actually, I had a 20 meter. It's like a flat cable, so it's like dead flat. You can slot it under doors and stuff. So about a couple of years ago, I gave him that one and set that up for him, and it's about 20 meters long. So it goes from the living room, goes around the house, then up the stairs and into his room. So yeah, it's quite funny. You'll see that kind of trouncing up the stairs. I was saying I was gonna tuck it into the floor, into the what do you call it? The side bit on the wall, you know, the skirting board. I was gonna stick it on the skirting, inside the skirting board, but I never did it. 2 years later, and I still haven't done it. So, but it's probably never gonna get done. But yeah. So, did you manage to get any content done today, Dame? Did you manage to get a live stream done? Did you? What's your next plans for single player? Also, I'd love to know, what faction are you looking forward to the most? Because I haven't managed to ask you yet. What are you looking forward to the most for Warhammer 3? I'd love to know. I'm not too sure if I had to guess. I'm not too sure what you would want to play the most. I feel like it'd be a Chaos God. I think it must be a Chaos God, but I'm not sure which one. Okay. Are you ready, gents? This is taking a short while. Also, dwarves now have magic rune spells with the dwarf DLC. Indeed, it makes them super fun. Eventually, ME map will be insane, but my PC might explode. I think all of our PCs might explode with such an awesomely large map. I made a very stupid video. If you wondering what I'm playing in Warhammer 3, I have a video coming out on it tomorrow. Nice! Okay, I'll be excited to watch that then. I'll be excited to watch that. Nice, let's go. Oh, are you doing a similar idea? Like, why would you play Warhammer 3? Because that would be really cool. That would be really cool. I want to see Cathay, Slanesh, and Nurgle. Yeah, yeah. I'm a big fan of Kislev. Big fan of Kislev. Give me those Kislevites. Gunpowder and polar bears. I mean, what more does a bloke want than gunpowder and polar bears? Can't ask for more than that, can you, really? Let's be honest. Alright, looks like we got big support for Tim the Wilder here today. Big support. I like it. Is Tim okay? But yeah, I think Nurgle is... was it Nurgle? I think Ducky did a vote, and I think that Tzeentch was really popular, but I seem to remember that Nurgle was... Okay, cool. Right, this is ready. Yeah, I think Nurgle was quite popular. Tzeentch is way more popular than I thought it was going to be. And then Kislev. Kislev of like the three non-chaos factions was super popular. I think it attained like nearly 50% of the votes actually, which is absurd. It's not an advertisement. It's almost the opposite. Oh, interesting. Okay. See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you come here for. You come here for the early stuff from Dane. That's what you all come here for. Hey, the dude. I saw you do some Age of Empires multiplayer on Twitch. Which of the two would you say is more beginner friendly between it and Warhammer 2? Ooh, that is an interesting question. I've played a year of Warhammer now, so I'm way more familiar with Warhammer. It depends if you're talking about multiplayer and Warhammer 2 is a single player game that we all play multiplayer on, essentially it is a single player game that has multiplayer, whilst Age of Empires 4 is a multiplayer game that has additional single player, if that makes sense. So everything that is balanced is for multiplayer on Age of Empires 4, whilst Warhammer is balanced for single player. Depends what you want to play, I would say. Hey, what's up, big boss? How's it going, big boss? You got 1K. Nice. Yeah, thank you very much, human boy. How you doing? The big man himself, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know him, please go search him up. But I'm sure anybody that watches me knows who Human Boy is already. But yeah, 2 Thunderers here in the middle. Let's quickly go through the builds. 2 Thunderers. We are going to have Quarrelers, double cannons here in the front as well, coming in from the RTK man. Dwarf Riders here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. And also we got some regular miners. He likes his miners, doesn't like his blasting charges. I think me and Tids are going to fall out. Although we do have the big, beautiful legend himself. We are going to have the fiery beard man of Ungrim. He's going to be nice and naked and a brilliant anti-large sniper. We are going to be having Chameleon Stalkers on the flanks, mixing with Terran Riders. Terran Riders are certainly needed in this matchup. You have to bring Terran Riders. Only 2 is a ballsy play Cotton for sure. But looks like here, Chameleon Skinks in the front line. Skinkies. Middle of boys. And we are going to have Saurus, Poseidon, Arcasotek, Red Crested Skinks, Saurus Warriors as well. We are going to have Gorok. Oh, the man, the myth, the legend. Coming in the Dwayne Rock Johnson. And he's going to be here with the Mace of Ulmak for that brilliant bonuses to melee attack. And the Rock of Itzel. Yeah, good physical resistances, etc. And yeah, he's going to be paying quite a bit for physical resistance, which is also kind of gorgeous. Double Arcasotek, very strong. Here with the Saurus Warriors as well. The Skin Priest of Beast, Transformation of Gadon, and Wilson's Wild Form. Should be quite interesting. You can certainly partner that there with the Cohort Sotek, make them quite strong indeed. You know, plus 30 armor, doubling their armor, giving them extra AP and base weapon damage. Can certainly be pretty good there with poison on top of that 31 melee attack. Can certainly be quite nice indeed. Now, the only issue you can find here with Red Crested Skinks is over time. Of course, they pay for a lot of melee attack, and you pay a lot for armor piercing and poison. They can certainly struggle against the high melee defense in the exhausted stage of the battle, where you can find that Dwarf Warriors certainly exponentially grow in that later stage, where they reduce armor, but they kind of maintain that melee defense. So Skinky Boys coming in the front. Community Skink should be able to shoot over the top here. Kind of key targets, pardon me, do apologise. is going to be... Oh, we've got Iron Breakers as well. Oh, the elite men of the Dowie. Oh, Tids knows how to get me excited about about Warhammer. Right, Slayers here in the back as well. We saw 1, 2, 3 Slayers. 3 Slayers is bold for sure, especially with Skinky Boys on the battlefield. So certainly showing the miners can be quite good. Quarrels still have shields as well. So actually, I think that miners and the cannon crews are certainly going to be ones you want. Now they're going to be getting shot in the front. These boys certainly want to work their way around the corner. I want to be shooting into Slayers, and more than likely the cannon crews here. Only 40 armor, so can certainly take those down rather comfortably. Ungrim, he's going to be 120. He's going to be standing there like an absolute Chad, kind of axe in hand, ready to chomp here up against the remainder of the forces. Now, if we can't get around the back here, which would be quite nice, you can see there's quite a few elements open. We do have the Slayers on top of the Thunderers, with quite a meaty Chad build here in the middle, blasting charges just ready to go. Cannons are going to be shooting, and they're going to be shooting at the big bad boy, and this is the problem. So we talked about this earlier. You can see the big Chaddus is going to be coming down. The Chungus is going to be charging straight down the middle, and he has taken so much damage on the approach. You certainly need the big Chunguses to come down the flank. So one down this side, and mitigate as much damage as possible and stay away kind of here. Because you can see we have a 2 versus 1 here. We have a bit of a sandwich ordeal here on the front on the Bastiladon. He's certainly getting crumbs here in the middle. Now, also taking a nice ability uses there. They refuse to die. Going to be making sure that they stand pretty strong. Blast and charges over the top. They'll do damage, but they certainly won't kill. Now, double Arcosotic here in the middle, coming down on the same unit. So I don't know if that's going to stack. I highly doubt it. But in the middle here, Slayer's going to be going strong here up against the Bastiladons. Where's the big man himself? Where's the fiery red beard? There he is. He's going to be charging into the middle. The big man himself, Ungrim, the Slayer King, slamming into the middle there, up against the big Bastiladon. He's going to be wavering gunpowder in the face, as well as those big meaty cannonballs. Going to be firing right into the armoured flank of the Bastiladon. So he's going to be falling, and here in the back we do see some Taildron Riders getting some good poke and kind of swivel here up against the Slayers in the back. Community Stalkers as well, kind of approaching the back, getting some good damage on those Thunderers. That's what Community Stalkers can do just so goddamn well. But great pressure in the back, physical resistance as well, can do quite well up against the Slayers. And in the back here, we are going to get a summon of the Manticore here on top. This is a lovely shutdown here coming in from Tim. Tim's certainly got a gorgeous surround here and really pincing from every single side here on the Dowie force. Now get in here with these Skinky Boys. Get them in, get them shooting here up against the cannon, shut down that crew, and do all of the work here that the older ones would require. So over the left-hand side, we can see here Dwarf Warriors going kind of ham here in the middle up against the Swords Warriors. Swords Warriors will beat down Dwarf Warriors, but Longbeards can do pretty nicely in that engagement. So it's like here, we are going to be shooting over the top. Be a lot of fire here up against your own Swords Warriors if you're not careful. But you can see Miner's going to be getting poisoned. That's going to kind of reduce all those stats and do some really nice work. Now the Slayer King, he's in. We can certainly butter the bread here of the Bastiladon. We certainly slam in between 2 slices of bread and kind of show him to the edge of the battlefield here if we can. Manticore Rampages, he's going to be in that orange and now that pink, and there he goes down. But the second one should be shortly following. Where is he's going to be over there? Skink Priest, yeah, it doesn't looks like he doesn't have wild hearts, so he's not going to be quite getting too much mana back quickly here. Now Gorok might be able to pop through the middle here. A little juicy opening here for him. He can go through. Certainly doesn't want to fight Ungrim. Ungrim will certainly finish him off if he's not careful. Looks like he's going to go up against the Iron Breakers. He can do well there, because oh no, looks like Chad is going to be going straight in. He's going to punch right to the face of Ungrim, and Ungrim's going to turn and he's going to burn here all over the face of Gorok. So we do get the second summon of the Manticore coming through, and then we've just got the Warson's Wild Form left in the back here, just to kind of get a little bit of extra bonuses here for the Lizardmen. But as you can see here, the Lizardmen are falling apart, but we are going to be shooting into the front, and this is the problem. We're not really taking down any of these key elements. Cannon's still online, Slayer's still going. We need to shoot these Slayers, we need to shoot the Thunderers, we need to take down these key targets that are wrapping their big guns around the face here of the Bastiladons. It's a bit of a misplay there, unfortunately. The Arcosotic using its ability kind of here in this area was a bit of a shame. The Rock Johnson is going to be falling. The Warson's Wild Form, the Rockovitza has been popped as well. I just don't know if that's going to be enough here. Ungrim's going to be chilling. He knows that the damage has been done. He doesn't need to do too much else here. Let's see what he's going to be. He's going to be at 15 kills. He's going to be only at 770 damage, but you know, the man's happy with the work he's done. Now, nice stuff here. Looks like we have the Taildron Riders in, doing some good damage up against the cannons. We're just saying, like to see some rock drops here on the Quarrelers and rock drops on the Thunderers. That certainly could have decimated these units here in the middle. Now, Community Skinks are now coming around the corner, but I think it's a little bit too late here. We are going to be down to 3 ammunition, and I don't really think you can affect the battle from there. It looks like here this could be at the end stage, and I think that's going to be a pull-out for the Lizardmen. Oh, what's going on here? What's going on here? Ah, nice. We missed you in the 20 today, man. I don't like any dwarf units. I know. Had to watch LOTR. Oh, Lord of the Rings. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I love Lord of the Rings. Human Boy says, thanks for the reply. How many types of Bugman units are there? What do they tend to excel at? Yeah, Bugman Rangers, that's it, I think. There's only one Bugman unit. Isn't there one that throws axes? They're Rangers great weapons. Rangers are great weapons. So, Gorrock, the Rock Johnson coming in at 306, 56 there for the Skink Priest of Beasts. He certainly came in with a few fisticuffs there on the Dowie. 190 there for the Red Crested Skinks, 430 there for the Cohorts of Sotek. And yeah, so the Community Stalkers 800 and 770 with 530, 700 and 481 there for the Source Warriors. So we're going to be getting 514 there for the Chameleon Skinks with 442 and 148 there for the Chameleon Skinks. 403 and 190 there for the Terror Warriors. Rock Drops certainly should have buttered the bread here of the Thunderers for sure. They don't have any sort of fire resistance. Here in the middle, got 106 and 307 there for the Bastillodons. Kind of stacked together, getting shot here by cannons. They just got absolutely ripped a new one. Here, 1,250 and 500 there for the cannons. Dirty stuff, dirty stuff. Yeah, so yeah, nice try here. I kind of like the build. I think a couple of more Pterodons. If he'd gone, like, say, 4 units of Gyrocopters, because Gyrocopters are surprisingly actually winning combat against Pterodon Riders. So actually, the full Dowie Air Force there can certainly do some big work. But of course, you've got to be careful there of those skinky boys. But of course, you can only bring 6 in total, so that's something else to make into consideration. 790 there for Ungrim Iron Fist, of course, the big Chad doing the big stuff. 150, 180, 100, 175 there for the Miners. 204, 307, 299, 74, and 180 there for the Dwarf Warriors. So, okay performance. But of course, they were getting slammed by Saurus Warriors and crazy Red Crested Skinks with battle axes. 550, 850, and 640 there for the Slayers. 1,230 there for Ironbreakers. Ironbreakers with such high melee defense. Oh god, they are just so goddamn difficult to deal with for the dinos. Like, there's not many units that just have an exponentially high level of melee attack. Saurus Warriors don't. Like, Star Chambers do magic damage. You can't even use those. Yeah, I don't know. It's very difficult to deal with Ironbreakers. It's uber difficult to deal with Ironbreakers in this matchup. Like, 3 Ironbreakers is just uber tough for the Lizardmen to deal with. You just have to go wide and kill everything else and just kind of ignore the Ironbreakers, I guess. They're just uber difficult to deal with. Just one there can really kind of, like, destroy the Lizardmen force if you're not careful. We got 725 there for the Quarrels, just 1 unit getting the good poke. 760, 418 for the Thunderers as well. So yeah, really good force here. You know, good kind of meat to the front line. You know, kind of throwing it into the grinder there, and then you know, the cannons and the guns doing what the Dowie do best, just, you know, shooting your opponent off the battlefield. Well, my headphones are all over the place here. Right, I'm missing quite a few here. Only dwarfs when you have no micro. Okay, I'm going to disagree with that pretty hard, but okay. Dwarves are for noobs with micro. I would certainly like to show you up on that. I will show you up on live stream about how you need to have micro with dwarves, my friend. If you think dwarves have no element of micro, then I would say... I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. If you still think that's the case, I will place you up against Alpha and Dino, and he can play the Empire. And then we'll see how your micro deals with the dwarfs in that matchup. Alright, so for the scoreboard, we are going to be having 1-0 here to Tits. So it's going to be 1-0 to Mr. RTK so far, and the second map should be Eshken. Nice. The good old Eshken. I keep doing that with my... Thank you. I think my headphones are on the way out, sadly. Indeed you do. Hey, Parkerilla, how you doing, my friend? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you've had a fantastic new year and holidays. But it's minimal, right? Like less than all other races. So this is the thing, and like any experienced player in the multiplayer scene will tell you, all micro for every single faction is different. Just because something's slower or moves different, like the micro is different. Like the way you have to play Dwarves compared to other factions is just different. And like many people might go, okay, you've got no range tools in the VC, so do the VC need the most micro? No, I don't think so. I think I think it all works different. I think it all works very, very different. Eshkin. I don't know. I just like messing around with names and words and stuff. Just the Eshkin. All right, so they're both ready. This is going to be a classic matchup here. We are going to be having Beastmen going up against the Dark Elves. Need a official Lord of the Rings Total War. Yeah, there wasn't an official one, sadly, but yeah. Dwarves get carried by stats. If they don't, they lose. I mean, yeah, dwarves have some very strong stats, but they also have some very weak ones, right? Like they have no speed whatsoever. They have no speed, so mobility is just out the window. Like dwarves is a reaction faction. You can't force an engagement without using a tool. So without flash bomb or without rune of slowness, you can't force a tool. Like you can't force an engagement that you want. You basically have to take the engagement you're given. But yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. So, we are going to have the... Oh, very nice. We are going to have the Crows of Cain, which are going to heal here whilst fighting in combat. 48 melee defense as well. Super huge. Very good stuff there from them. Fairy Manticores in the sky cause rampage, but they do have that beautiful terror. Very, very good value for money. 800 gold cost. Super strong. Scorpion Shadow 3 in the middle here. Yep, very expensive. Double Dark Riders as well. And it's like it's going to just be 5 units of the Bleak Swords. In the sky, of course, Mama Marathi. And here, of course, the double K-Knight Assassins. So you can see here that Tide has certainly been dragged in the RTK way of things. The Wand of Caradon, as well as Soul Stealer, Harmon in the Dark Sword, Enchanting Beauty, and the Greater Arcane Conduit. Now, I do quite like having Life Leeching in this. Is it necessary? No. So this would suggest to me that this is more of a houseplant build. Hopefully he gets that joke. But anyway, we have 2 K-Knight Assassins here in the middle. One is going to be... Oh, yeah, this is a very houseplant build, this one. Okay, so we are going to be having Web of Shadows. And we are going to be having Assassin's Trophy and Web of Shadows. I think I was talking to Houseplant, and he was saying that he likes to just take off a couple of items that are like quite cool to have in this matchup, just to make sure you can have the perfect build, as he likes to call it, where he doesn't have any chevrons and he just goes like nice full 20 stack. But anyway, we are going to have Ungor Herds here in the front, mixing with Ungors as well. Gore Herds with shields and the Blackhorn Ravagers, a very, very nice unit. This element here is going to be having Rowdy, with which is, perfect vigor and plus 4 leadership. So essentially, you keep those stats, which is that 34 melee attack and 44 melee defense you pay for, you keep. Ungor Spearman in the back there as well, with the Brave Shaman of the Wild here in the back, with just Traitorkin. He's going to be on a chariot there, got to be careful with that. Throwing axes here in the back with Ungor Raiders, and it's like here, Centaur throwing axes with the Destroyers of Drakwold. Fairy Manticore and Morga the Shadowgave, and here in the middle you're going to have Centaur throwing axes. Okay, so yeah, lots of Centaurs here. There's going to be 4 throwing axes. This is going to be very interesting. Throwing axes is going to try and see maybe they come up against the Scourge Runners. Of course, they are going to have 93 speed as well when they are activated with their, I think it's Primal Fury. It's Primal Fury. Yeah, Primal Fury. Give us the Crowfather. Sadly, no Crowfather. We are going to be having Morga the Shadowgave with all the standard kit. But your frontline holds forever, so it actually don't. I think you mean doesn't, but also like they have no melee attack. So dwarves have no melee attack, so the fact that they also just don't punch back either. Which means you're forced to use other tools to do your damage, right? Which is, guns and quarrelers and all those kind of things. Your front line is certainly not going to win a battle for you. Yeah, I also find quite a lot of those that spit on the dowry, the ones that don't play dwarfs. And if you play Dwarfs, you'll find it's a very, very different game indeed. But we'll go back into the battle. So we have Centaur throwing axes, going to be throwing into the front here. But you can see, look at those score drones just dumpstering the throwing axes. You certainly want to drop these out. Drop these out for sure. Get these out of here. You don't want them in just yet. Force these to shoot into the front. And if they're not micro very well here from Tide, it's certainly going to be getting less value there. So it's going to be Soul Stealer in the middle, so we're still going to catch the Gorehead there in the front, but yeah, it looks like there's going to be some damage there in the middle, and this here is a very interesting play. Morathi got absolutely dumpstered, because she just went through the middle, and it looks like here we are going to be going for a snipe on Morga the Shadowgave. This is an interesting one. Morga is pretty damn tanky, so trying to go for the snipe on him is interesting, but it looks like that is going to be the one. Certainly want to be getting some units in here to save Morga. It looks like Morga's not going to get saved. Oh no. Okay. Nice damage there in the middle. But it's like we are here in the back. So we are going to be charging in with the Manticore, terrifying the Bleak Swords. Now in the back here, it looks like the Scourge are going to be kiting. And yeah, that's crazy. Morga, now they're going to run away. Okay, so throwing axes in. This is a bit of an issue. This is a Soul Stealer waiting to happen here. That is one Soul Stealer away from winning the game, I think. Here in the middle, looks like the Courage of the Cane are going to be fighting, so we are going to rampage the Frey Manticore, so that'll be dealt with pretty quickly there, unfortunately. And that's why I think here, double Manticore with the Crowfather and double Harpies is pretty strong here. Which is why, actually, I think the nice counter with the Courage of the Cane is actually really strong in the sky. It's really strong. So in the middle here, we have the Cainite Assassins. They should get Webs of Shadow here in the front. Is that Web of Shadows? Didn't quite see what that was. But, yeah, looks like Cainite Assassins should be able to shoot here into the front. The Ungol Raiders, I think they're targeted to try and come over here and shoot into the sky. But Wrath is still going to be rather healthy. In the back there, we can see that these Scourge Runner Chariots, I think they're going to be shooting in. What are they shooting at? It looks like they're shooting at the front line here. In the back, Dark Riders are going to just be holding the right-hand flank. And just kind of waiting to see if there's going to be a kind of any overextended push. This is going to be a summon here. This is more like, yes, this is going to be the summon of the Chaos Spawn. That there is going to fall on top of the Bleak Swords. Now that we have Murder of Priors down, that's going to be 88 melee attack with poison there for the Cainite Assassin. It's going to be there for 90 seconds. Now they're going to fight up against the Destroyers of Drakwold, and it's like they're going to be coming here after Morga the Shadowgave. So Centaur throwing axes are in. They will do some good damage up against the Cainite. Only 30 armor for him, but that should be Web of Shadows there. So Web of Shadows is going to do some disgusting damage here on the Centaurs for sure. You'll see big tick damage coming down to, so they've gone from 2k down to 1.7, down to 1.6. What else are we switching? Down to 1.5, down to 1.3, 1.2, yeah, 1.1. So whilst fighting in combat with Web of Shadows, they've gone down and lost half their health. That's incredible work there. Looks like here we're also going to be getting a wand coming down on top of the Centaurs. Yeah, pretty good damage there in the middle. So they are going to be raking, and they're going to get terrified here by the rampaging Ferromanticore. Fighting in the middle here is going to be the Goreherds. Morga is going to be exceptionally weak. He needs to heal up here just a little bit. If we get the Dark Riders in the back, we can certainly clean them up here just a little bit. Maybe the Crows of Cain over the top. Crows of Cain here, they've been looked after quite nicely. Still 42 models, still regenning. They should be able to get quite high up there. One of the Cainites is in the middle. So the Cainite Assassin is going to be fighting here up against the Summon of the Chaos Spawns. Dark Riders do get a rear charge here on the Goreherds. We might be able to finish off the Cainite here. He's only got 42 melee defense, 30 armor, so he's going to take a lot of damage here. But that's going to be a Soul Stealer there. For all that's around, that's going to be a nice, good, gorgeous healing there coming in for Morathi herself. Balance of power is even, and we do have throwing axes still on board. This one is going to break by the looks. It looks like it is maybe stabilizing. But throwing axes should be able to do quite nicely here up against Morathi. Throwing axes are decimating Morathi. We've got to be careful there. Soul Stealer down, so we should get some healing here for herself. Yeah, the lady herself is going to be healing gorgeously. It looks like here Morga is having a whole world of problems here. You need to kind of screen out for Morga. You lose your Lord there. Beastmen really struggle without their leadership. In the back here, it looks like we have some more throwing axes that can certainly do with getting back involved. In the middle, cycle charging here through the Ungol Raiders. Having all these online together with kind of no mass means they kind of get shut down there pretty hard. What is this ability? That's going to be Traitorkin on the Cainite. Looks like it's not going to quite catch the Scourge Runners. Balance of power putting into the Dark Elf favor. Right there, 23 leadership. Is she going to be able to get away? 300 health. She's certainly probably got more mana there in the pocket. Throwing axes. If she holds still there, she could be in some serious trouble. So it's like here, we are going to get the Crows of Cain fighting in the back here up against the Centaur throwing axes. Cycle charging as well there from the Scourge Runner Chariots. Squadron Runners probably don't want to engage in combat up against the Centaurs. It's probably not optimal for them. But the Manticore might come up. Marathi has broken. Now, this could certainly change the tide. If we can get Marathi off the edge, we are going to be wavering there. Squadron Runners are shooting, and that is actually going to be a break for the Manticore. That's a bit of a shame. I think actually going around the outside might have just been a little bit better. But, yeah, a bit of a shame there, unfortunately. Marathi's going to be running away. Leadership is going to return. She's on 10 leadership, and she does return. That is going to be army losses. GG's and well played here to RTK Tids, who is going to be today's winner. At least the Crow Father can outrun all their units. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, indeed. So we have 93 there for Morga the Shadowgate, with 1,080 there for the Brave Shaman, 140, 205, and 355 with 250 there for the Ungor Selection, and the Destroyers of Drakwold coming in at 550, so very good stuff there. 575 and 400 there for the Gorehounds, and only 400 there for the Blackhorn Ravagers. Of course, they do pay quite a lot there for stats, but, you know, of course, they suffer a bit on the kind of armor. Now, they do have shields, but they can certainly get shut down relatively comfortably sometimes. As like here, just regular core herds coming in at 370 as well. So 170, 800, and 590 there for the Ungor Raiders, with 420 for the Throwing Axes, 1,300, 200, and 1,037. The Manticore in at 177. Bit strange you're going to see just one Manticore, considering here, like, I think maybe the idea was to support them with the 4 Centaurs. But I think the one thing you're going to struggle with, maybe the Traitorkin as well. But the one problem with just one Manticore is the fact that you're always going to see Marathi double Manticore in this matchup. This is just like, this is not the most optimal way to play this matchup, but this is certainly a way you can play this matchup for sure. Yeah, it's pretty good here. I think with double Pharaoh Manticores, so it's 1.1 and 700 there. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Cozy Kane 850, strong there. Marathi coming in at 2,350. Because she's all good and balanced, with 360 and 620 there for the Cainite Assassin. 200, 450, 380 and 450, with 400 there for the Bleak Swords. 1 and 2 and 200 there for the Dark Riders. 666, 620 and 780 there for the Scourge Runner Chariot. So yeah, still lots of ammunition, still lots of health to pay for, and this is a very strong build. This is a top tier build for sure. Yeah, these three combined, if used correctly, probably would counter a good Skyforce here from the Beastmen, but you'd have to work around it correctly, because the Cozy Kane, of course, are going to heal. They have much better stats. It can be very, very tough. It can be very tough, and the way it works normally is you can overwhelm Marathi double Manticore. You can do quite well, but here with the good air support with the Crows of Cain, it can be very tough indeed. It can be very tough. So yeah, GG's well played. So, well played. You are today's winner. So, well played to Tids. He's going to be winning himself a cash prize there from Enticity. So, hopefully they've enjoyed the event. And thank you very much to Tim the Wilder for coming in as a new player. Obviously performing really well, getting through here to the final, which is, you know, amazing. Also bringing down a nice clanmate as well, which is always a nice best of 3 to see. Yeah, so GG's well played to both of these guys. They played very, very well indeed. GG's fun tournament. Good mix of meta and wild builds. Indeed. Yeah, some nice mixture there between the two for sure. I think there has to be at least 8 mobile parts for Beastmen in this matchup. Yeah, I think there's a good way of kind of working around. I think the Dark Elf matchup is possible. I just think it's a tough one. But yeah, no problem. No problem. I hope all of you guys enjoyed this. So for any of you that are new that have enjoyed this today, do feel free to smash that subscribe button. It really does help. Of course, we did just hit 1,000, so thank you very much for all that amazing support. I've got quite a few things coming over the next couple of days. I'm kind of swamped with, sadly, the amount I've got right now, which is insane. Like, it's really, really awesome, but it's also a lot. So please bear with me whilst I try and work out for the new year kind of what's going to go where and what I'm going to put everywhere, and try and see. Yeah. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm just going to be working out over the next couple of days sort of where everything's going. And then once we've got that into like kind of a smooth pattern again, we'll be doing like Battlemania regularly again, and then we'll be doing kind of everything on top of that as well. So yeah, so it should be really awesome. So yeah, thank you very much for everybody that watched. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Do feel free to, of course, like and subscribe. And I will be probably on a little bit later tonight on Twitch. So if you guys don't follow me on Twitch, I'll probably maybe doing some more Warhammer content, I think. But I'll be on my Twitch later here, just doing something else. So what I try and do is I try and put a video out or a stream kind of every single day on YouTube, and then I kind of follow up with the evening on Twitch. So yeah. Let me just try and see if there's anybody else online that you guys might want to watch. I can't see anybody here, so let me go Total Warhammer. Is anybody live right now? Let's try 2. I cannot see anybody else live, I'm afraid. Thank you very much, Arcado, for the subscription, by the way. Thank you very much, dude. What I will do then is I will go here. I will go here, open that. And this is just going to be my latest video. So if you guys want to watch a little bit more Warhammer content, do feel free to pop there as well. So it's going to be a nice little video for you guys. Yeah, pretty fun one. So you guys can check that one out. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow for more content, and tonight for perhaps something fun. So take care of yourselves. Congratulations yet again to RTK Tids, and I'll see you all very soon.